that people have defied. People know well that behind the curtain of the Thackeray, Marathi Asmita, they are trying to take care of themselves. Big people are not agreeing.
So there's also a lot of chatter about BJP social engineering, where you've touched upon 4 stratas over here. You're looking at not just catering to the Marathis, you're talking about also catering to the migrant population which have come out, say, from states like Uttar Pradesh, North India particularly, and have settled down, the Dalits, and of course the Gujarati Marwadi elite as well. I'd like a word from you on that.
We don't divide the peoples in their communities. We feel that all Mumbaikars are same till they are having the faith in the ideology of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. That is the reason every caste have voted for us, and they will continue to vote for us, and we will continue to serve all of them without any discrimination.
So when you say without any discrimination, do you think it's the politics of inclusivity which has worked for BJP and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction versus the opposition particularly? Many are even talking about how the Congress should be regretting why they didn't join hands with the Thackerays.
You see that Honorable Narendra Bhai Modi have already said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Vikas. But in that, everybody has to participate other way also. It cannot be one way. Till you are with the country, till you govern you abide by the Indian rules, for us all are same. But if you are here and wants to facilitate the incoming of the Guspetias, then you are not welcome here.
All right, Mr. Lodha, thank you so much. The battle actually has begun now, given that you've ended the Matoshri's dominance in the civic body, but the deliverables await for the BJP and for Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha. Heartiest congratulations once again. On that note, let me quickly bring in Aman, who's also joining us live. He's been tracking minute-by-minute updates for us on the BMC election, and I'm also joined in by Professor Sanjay Kumar, who's a psephologist. Aman, first to come to you, what are the key takeaways now as far as the victory is concerned?
Well, Akanksha, I think it's a phenomenal victory. If you look at the numbers, well, 128 is the total number for the NDA, but look at the BJP's number at 98. This is their best ever performance in the BMC. In fact, I would not be surprised if when the final tally comes, BJP could be over 100 seats in the 227 wards of BMC. That's a big performance. I think a replay of the Vidhan Sabha elections as well, where the BJP itself was near the majority mark without the help much of Eknath Shinde or Ajit Pawar. So this is a big stamp by the BJP on the fact that it is the strongest party in Maharashtra, in Bombay as well, and shaking up the bastion of the BMC, which was of Uddhav Thackeray for almost 2.5 decades. I think that is the biggest takeaway. The second biggest takeaway, I think the collapse of the Thackerays. You know, after being in power for almost 2.5 decades in the BMC, last-ditch effort, desperate measures were taken. After 20 years, the two brothers tied up, Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray, but this has not brought about for them a big success. You know, we see Uddhav Thackeray still notching up 59 seats, I think a respectable number given the circumstances the party found itself in the Vidhan Sabha, but the MNS with just 9 seats has proven to be a complete disaster. So I think the longevity of this alliance is now very much under question. I think the big message the Mumbaikars have given that they don't want this hate politics. They don't want this Marathi versus non-Marathi, this lungi, pungi, you know, kind of comments made by Raj Thackeray. They are not interested in whether the mayor of Mumbai will be a Hindu Maratha or some other religion. They want development. They want their civic issues to be solved. They want ease of living. They want to get from home to office and office back to home in just a few hours, not spend half their life on the roads or in overcrowded trains. They have now given the triple engine license to the BJP.
True.
They are in power in the center, BJP is power in the state,
absolutely.
and BJP is power in the BMC. They have no one else to blame now. They have to deliver and walk the talk.
Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas over, say, Marathi Asmita. I can see Amitabh Tiwari, founder of Vote Vibe, is also joined in. And before I go across to Amitabh, let me also bring in Professor Kumar on that note. Professor Kumar, weigh in on the point that Aman has just now raised. Is this the neoliberal face of the new Maharashtra voter?
Definitely, because if you look at the one issue which was being used by all the political parties or all the alliances was Marathi Asmita, but Marathi Asmita alone cannot bring you victory. It cannot give you the kind of votes you require to, register a victory. So if you look at Shiv Sena UBT group, they were relying more on the Marathi Asmita. But if you look at the BJP and Shiv Sena, the Shinde group, so they have been promising better development for Mumbai. It's about the infrastructure. They were raising the bigger issues. They were not keeping a distance from the Marathi Asmita. They were going along with that because no political party can afford to, keep a distance from the Marathi Asmita. But the whole point is that why BJP and Shiv Sena Shinde group has been successful is because they were able to attract sections of voters beyond their core voters, and that is what is being reflected at the early trends which we are getting at the moment.
Quickly, Amitabh Tiwari, do you think that the Thackerays, there was a lot of question being posed on the legacy politics. What is your outlook now and assessment of where the Thackerays stand as of now? Is it Raj Thackeray that has brought the UBT down?
I think first point we need to understand is, though we say that the Thackeray's have controlled the BMC for 2.5-3 decades, the Thackeray's have never got simple majority on their own. So they were ruling the BMC in alliance with the BJP and other smaller parties. That was a natural alliance. The Shiv Sena getting the Marathi Manus votes and the BJP bringing on the Gujarati, North Indian, South Indian community votes. Once that alliance broke, we saw that in 2017 also, when the Shiv Sena got 84 and the BJP standalone got 82. So clearly the demographic of Mumbai, wherein the percentage of Marathi language speakers is declining, then in that scenario, one party cannot just be relying on the Marathi votes to win.
So going by what you're saying, do you think today's result has also sort of placed the baton or handed the baton officially over to Eknath Shinde as the Thackeray, as perhaps the upholder of that Thackeray legacy?
I would say there are two factors here. One is who is the real inheritor of the Thackeray legacy, who is now the real Shiv Sena. So the Eknath Shinde faction is clearly the real Shiv Sena. They had established that even in 2024 Vidhan Sabha election, Mumbai was the only region where in direct 1-to-1 contest, the UBT won 6 and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde 5. So this was the only region where the UBT had an upper hand against the Eknath Shinde faction. So they are clearly the real Shiv Sena. When we talk about the inheritors of the Thackeray legacy, I think because Uddhav and Raj still carry that surname, they still are the inheritors of that legacy, but that legacy itself is not enough to get them victory in Mumbai.
Okay.
They have to change the strategy. Only playing on Marathi Asmita in a highly urban election where people talking about development, infrastructure growth, creation of a new Bombay like perhaps a Singapore or a Dubai, just playing the Marathi card when the population itself is declining did not work.
I want to bring in Aman on that note. Aman, we've seen how the BJP and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction have successfully and very skillfully dented all of these bastions, not just the bastion of, say, the Shiv Sena UBD, but also of the Pawars.
Absolutely, and it's a success across Maharashtra. All the 29 municipal authorities, you see, most of them, the NDA is sweeping them. Be it Pune, where the Pawars had tied up, no impact on the NDA. Be it in Thane, complete sweep by the BJP and the NDA. So I think it's an all-round success. It's also answering, Akanksha, those critics who, for example, said that Eknath Shinde is only a Thane leader. He's not a Mumbai leader. So Eknath Shinde winning 30 seats, in the BMC, though it is much lesser than what he contested. He contested almost 90 seats, so the strike rate could be questioned by some, but still he has performed. He has aided the NDA. I think the big message, which is coming from across Maharashtra and even the BMC Akanksha, is that people don't want these different governments at different levels. They feel at the center, Mr. Modi is in power. In the state, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis is in power. So let's put the BJP also in power in the BMC. We don't want to put Uddhav Thackeray in power in the BMC, and he's always on collision course with Mr. Fadnavis and the center. People want the same triple engine so that development actually happens. Mumbaikars, whatever I have gone around in the city in the last 3 days, people complaining of potholes. One person told me that I spend 4 hours of my life daily in getting from home to office. I want ease of living. No party is speaking about that. I am not interested in if it will be a Marathi Manu should get together or not. This is a civic election. Civic issue should be top on the foremost of the politicians. I think people have really answered in that way, because Fadnavis has been speaking a lot about the coastal road, the Atal Setu, the Mumbai Metro, making the locals here, the local trains here air conditioned, or be it the new Mumbai Ahmedabad high speed rail. So I think people are more enamored by that infrastructure angle. They want Mumbai to be like Shanghai and Dubai, which was promised long back, and they are trusting the NDA now to bring the real change on the ground, because the NDA now has nobody else to blame. They are in power in the center, in the state, and the BMC. They have to walk the talk and deliver the mandate which people have trusted them with.
Well, absolutely. The Marathis themselves choosing the politics of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Stay with me as we take our viewers through the key takeaways of today's election results. What do they mean? First and foremost, Mumbai and a number of other cities have voted for a triple engine ki sarkar. Remember, Aman was just now highlighting that very crucial point. It's a tectonic shift as the Bharatiya Janata Party emerges as the party to beat in Maharashtra. Fadnavis has consolidated. Brand Modi wins the trust factor. The Thackerays, remember, are currently facing an existential crisis. This despite riding high on that wave of legacy. They're voted out from Mumbai, that too after 26 years, and even trounced in neighbouring Thane. Pawars are marginalized. They are slipping behind the BJP in Pimpri-Chinchwad. Even in Pune, NCP Ajit Pawar faction may even find itself out of the equation now in the Mahayuti, because they were the ones who took that miserable decision of actually sticking their neck out. There's a lack of public connect now, and lackluster campaigning has returned to haunt the opposition in yet another state. Many, in fact, are already questioning why there was not a single rally by the Congress party. Limitations of insular, parochial politics becoming clearer, serving as a disincentive for other regional parties in other states. Many are saying that this is not the face of Maharashtra. You have the Gen Z voters, you have the youth, you have the middle class, which is choosing the politics of development over vitriolic politics. Opposition has suffered another morale-slapping defeat with implications for national politics. Plus, it's a first mega victory in 2026, which is buoying the NDA as it now prepares for a tough round of state elections in early summer. India's richest municipal corporation, which as we all know is the BMC, might undergo a revamp, which will now be about serving the nation's business capital that we all know Mumbai is. And Mumbai's impending transformation through unified governance model will directly impact India's economic credibility, because it is India's financial capital. Let's quickly go across to Yesha Kotak, who's joining me live on the broadcast from outside the Bharatiya Janata Party office. Celebrations galore over there. Let's quickly go across to Yesha. Yesha, what's the mood?
Absolutely. In fact, like you rightly said, I'm right here outside the BJP office. I'd asked my VJ Manish to show you visuals of what the celebrations really look like outside BJP office. So we're expecting that by 3:30 is where the celebrations would begin, because clearly now, with the figures coming in even more concrete, it's evident that the halfway mark has already been crossed. In fact, the Mahayuti is inching towards the 130 mark even so. When we came in this morning, there were just barricadings that were put up. Now, as we see that the Mahayuti crossed the halfway mark, is where the celebration preparations is on in full swing. In fact, you see some of the people, some of the candidates who had Both, in fact, one from the area, they've started coming in towards the BJP office. There is Gulal, there's also celebration. We also expect the Chief Minister to be here in some time. The stage has already been set. You see BJP flags all across this very street, and LED has been put up showing the kind of numbers that are coming in for the Mahayuti government.
Right.
So yes, at this very point, celebrations have already started here, but of course we see that in an hour from now is where top leaders of the state, the Chief Minister would be heading in here, and then that's where the distribution of sweets will also take place.
All right,
Yes.
let's quickly go back to our guests, and Aman also continue to stay with us. Aman, what is the sense you're getting? Is it confirmed now that the Mahapaur is going to be from the Bharatiya Janata Party?
Well, absolutely, it will be a BJP mayor for the first time in the BMC. It's very, very clear. Devendra Fadnavis has said that the same. We had BJP leaders coming here on the show in the morning also saying the same. It will be a BJP mayor, and because BJP is far, far ahead, Akanksha, BJP is nearing 100 seats, while the Shiv Sena of Mr. Eknath Shinde is just at about 30 seats. So clearly, it will be a BJP mayor in Mumbai, and this is going to be a big, big thing because BJP has often, though it was in alliance with the Thackerays earlier in the BMC, but BJP always was I would say a backroom player in that. BJP was not calling the shots in the BMC even when it was in alliance with Uddhav Thackeray, and that is why now the BJP, I think for the first time, gets to play on the front foot in the BMC. Big ideas, the big manifesto promises that Devendra Fadnavis has made a few days back of having air-conditioned locals, of having the metro network expanding, of having pothole-free roads within a deadline in Mumbai. These are big, big promises. Cleanliness in Mumbai, for example, many people here have told me that Mumbai is no longer clean. You see garbage dumps and garbage everywhere. Why is Mumbai not being clean as it should be? So I think all these points now the BJP needs to walk the talk. It will have its own mayor. It will have to hit the ground running, and within maybe a few weeks or a few months, BJP will have to show a marked difference on the ground in Mumbai.
Professor Sanjay, if you could weigh in on this historic victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party after 26 years, what would this mean now for overall development and the days ahead for the polity of Maharashtra?
The days ahead, I think first, people have shown a lot of, faith in BJP. So there is a huge responsibility on the alliance, BJP and Shiv Sena. They have to deliver in the next 5 years because people have voted for BJP and Shiv Sena in a big way. Besides the, the Marathi Asmita issue, besides on that, people expect better infrastructural facility in Maharashtra, better roads, better civic condition. So I think there will definitely be a change in the way the BMC has functions in the past, because in the past BJP has been in power along with the Shiv Sena, the united Shiv Sena, but this is the first time they are going to have their own mayor. So there would be change in the way the BMC is going to function, and I think a lot of people are hoping that there would be noticeable development in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, especially with regard to the infrastructural facility.
Yes, when we talk about the infrastructural facilities, a lot of development that has been catered by the state government and of course is a double engine ki sarkar so far, which will now translate into triple engine. How has the politics of development spoken in favor of the BJP today, especially when you look at the kind of development we've seen when it comes to coastal roads, flyovers, metros? You will be the best one to perhaps share the details.
Absolutely. When we speak of Mumbai, for any Mumbaiker, what's really been seen is that it's not really important about the whole narrative, the political narrative that plays in. Because clearly, when we saw that in the wake of the election, the run-up to the elections, there were a lot of narrative about Marathi versus Hindu, Marathi versus North Indian. All of this was quite evident. But, when it comes to a normal Mumbaiker, when we spoke to several of them, all of them believe that was not about that narrative. For them, it was the work that mattered. For any Mumbaiker who works, a middle class person who gets out of his house, takes a local train, reaches his office, for them, all they want is feasibility and ease of convenience and ease of commute. Clearly, so in the last, say, more than 2 to 3 years, we've seen some of the big ticket infrastructure projects being inaugurated. Now that, like you rightly said, right from Atal Setu to Coastal Road to the Mumbai Metro, all of that was something that would play out on the minds of Mumbaikers when they go ahead to cast their vote. Now, amidst all of this, what is also important to note is that while all of this is the point, in fact, Mumbai could also think about the roads. Now, when it comes to manifesto of the BJP, they promised that from the 5,000 BST buses earlier, they get 10,000 to 12,000 buses fleet. All of this is an important aspect for the Mumbaikar to think of. When it comes to monsoon, every year we see that when it comes to Mumbai monsoon, of course, earlier as well, and so is the case in the last 3 years also when there was an administrative rule, there's constant flooding. So for a Mumbaikar, it is not the political narrative which plays out, it is about the ease of living in the city that really plays out in the mind of a Mumbaikar when they go
Absolutely, and this despite the BMC being the richest municipal body, the deliverables now is where the focus is now going to shift. This is going to be the major big challenge now for the BJP, which has now solidified itself under the aegis of brand Modi. Many thanks to you, Yesha, Aman and Professor Sanjay for sharing all of those invaluable insights and inputs. We will continue with our coverage, but for now we're slipping into a quick break. Stay tuned to CNN News 18 as we return with the latest.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
With the chants of Jai Jai Maharashtra, that was the BJP press conference celebrating its victory in the municipal polls. Let's quickly go across to my guest, a very esteemed one. In fact, I'm joined in by Mr. Mangal Prabhat Lodha, Maharashtra Minister. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha, for joining in. And I would like to congratulate you. It's a moment of celebration. Let's begin by sharing your thoughts first.
Yes, it's a big celebration, not only for BJP, but for all the Mumbaikars. After 25 years of the mismanagement of the Uddhav Thackeray party, now we will have a new governance under the guidance of Mananiya Narendra Bhai Modi ji and Mananiya Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Shinde ji. It will be a well-deserving facilities and all the infrastructure for the Mumbaikars. We thank them, all of them, by heart and assure them that we will not defy your expectations and we will do much more than what we have promised.
Mr. Lodha, what are those factors that have worked in favor of you and of course Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction as well? The BJP has maintained that it was the 3 M's, which is of course Marathi, Mahila and the Modi factor.
You see that people saw the governance of Honorable Pradhan Mantri Narendra Bhai Modi ji last 10 years and they have compared it with the 60 years. People saw the working of the government in the Maharashtra under leadership of Sri Devendra ji Fadnavis in last 10 years and they compared with the last 60 years. And what the result is that the 10 years are much better than the total outcome of the 60 years. They know well that what we tell we do and we don't tell anything which we cannot do. That faith they have in the Narendra Bhai Modi ji, Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Shinde ji. That is the reason they voted for us. Secondly, they are concerned about the security. Guspet is taking place, infiltration is taking place in Mumbai all around. Not only Bangladeshi Rohingya but the other way also. And they know well that if it is not stopped now, then it will become out of control and it will become another Bengal or Bangladesh. That is the reason they have come together. Thirdly, they want the new economic development and the job and the new business.
There was a lot of talk about how Mumbai and the BMC election was proving to be a battleground when it came to the battle of ideologies as well. When the Marathi Asmita, which was also on the top of agenda of the Thackerays, was being challenged by BJP's Hindutva ideology. But it's not just perhaps the Hindutva ideology, it's also politics of development that has spoken today.
You see that it is not question of Marathi Asmita. It was a question of Thackeray Asmita. They were not concerned about the existence of Marathis. It is a Maharashtra. So there cannot be any question or any problem about the Asmita existence of Marathi dominance. It is there, it will be there forever. But only question is whether the Thackeray will remain in power or not. That is the reason they have taken a cover of Marathi Asmita that people have defied. People know well that behind the curtain of the Thackeray, Marathi Asmita, they are trying to take care of themselves, which people are not agreeing.
So there's also a lot of chatter about BJP social engineering, where you've touched upon 4 stratas over here. You're looking at not just catering to the Marathis, you're talking about also catering to the migrant population which have come out, say, from states like Uttar Pradesh, North India particularly, and have settled down, the Dalits, and of course the Gujarati, Marwadi elite as well. I'd like a word from you on that.
We don't divide the peoples in their communities. We feel that all Mumbaikas are same till they are having the faith in the ideology of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. That is the reason every caste have voted for us, and they will continue to vote for us, and we will continue to serve all of them without any discrimination.
So when you say without any discrimination, do you think it's the politics of inclusivity which has worked for BJP and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction versus the opposition particularly? Many are even talking about how the Congress should be regretting why they didn't join hands with the Thackerays.
You see that Honorable Narendra Modi have already said, "Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Vikas." But in that, everybody has to participate other way also. It cannot be one way. Till you are with the country, till you govern you abide by the Indian rules, for us all are same. But if you are here and wants to facilitate the incoming of the Guspetias, then you are not welcome here.
All right, Mr. Lodha, thank you so much. The battle actually has begun now, given that you've ended the Matoshri's dominance in the civic body, but the deliverables await for the BJP and for Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha. Heartiest congratulations once again. On that note, let me quickly bring in Aman, who's also joining us live. He's been tracking minute-by-minute updates for us on the BMC election, and I'm also joined in by Professor Sanjay Kumar, who's a psephologist. Aman, first to come to you, what are the key takeaways now as far as the victory is concerned?
Well, Akanksha, I think it's a phenomenal victory. If you look at the numbers, well, 128 is the total number for the NDA.
Welcome back. Now shifting focus over to other stories that are grabbing headlines. This as violence broke out in Murshidabad and North Dinajpur districts of West Bengal during the special intensive revision of electoral rolls. Protesters have vandalized government offices and blocked highways in Farakka, Murshidabad. A mob even targeted the BDO office, disrupting SIR hearings. The unrest spread to Chakulia in North Dinajpur, where protesters blocked a state highway, the NH12, and vandalized the BDO office, causing an estimated 20 lakh in damage. Several police personnel were injured and an FIR has been filed. The Election Commission has directed authorities to identify and arrest those responsible for the killing that took place of the Murshidabad migrant in Jharkhand.
आपका ये जो कमेंट है ये इटसेल्फ थोड़ा कम्युनल है राम
कम्युनियल किया है तो कम्युनियल तो किया है और कम्युनियल काम करता है वो आपका जो खसरा वोटर जो निकला है उसमें निकलने का बाद प्राय 79,000 आदमी को हियरिंग बुला रहा है उसमें से 75,000 आदमी 75,000 आदमी मोहम्मदन है जिस बूथ में आपको 1100 वोट है 1100-1200 वोट है 1000 वोट है 50% से ज्यादा आदमी को बुला रहा है तो खसरा वोटर कैसे निकल गए
पर उसके बाद में लोग भड़क उठे और मतलब तोड़फोड़ हुआ
हम आदमी को समझा रहे थे हम भी जानते हैं कि ये प्रॉपर्टी सरकारी प्रॉपर्टी आम आदमी का प्रॉपर्टी है हम संभाल रहे थे एक दो आदमी ऐसी कुर्सी फुर्सी मन के चलिए कि ऐसा किया है बाकी तो सब आज स्मूथली काम हो रहा है
মানুষকে যেভাবে হ্যারাস করা হচ্ছে এটা ক্ষোভের বহিঃপ্রকাশ এরা ঘুষপেটিয়ার কথা বলে আমাদের বাংলাদেশি বলে এই যে 58 লক্ষ নাম বাদ গেছে তাদের মধ্যে কজন বাংলাদেশি আপনারা জিজ্ঞেস করুন বিজেপি নেতাদের মানুষের ক্ষোভের বহিঃপ্রকাশ কিন্তু আমি আপনাদের মাধ্যমে অ্যাপিল করতে পারি যে মানুষ যাতে শান্ত থাকে সংযত থাকে সবার উপর যে চাপ তৈরি করেছে ইলেকশন কমিশন 2 বছরের কাজ 2 মাসে করতে হবে এর জন্য একমাত্র দায়ী ভারতীয় জনতা পার্টি এবং ইলেকশন কমিশন এরা ভাবছে নোটিশ পাঠিয়ে মানুষকে শিক্ষা দেবো, মানুষ ভোট দেয়নি বলে। যত নোটিশ এরা পাঠাবে বিজেপির ভোট তত কমবে।
देखिए, हम लोग कोई लॉ ब्रेक करने का कोई सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन देखना होगा वहां पे इलेक्शन कमीशन क्या कर रहे हैं। जेन्युइन वोटर्स को हैरास कर रहा है, बुजुर्गों को हैरास कर रहा है, जो फिजिकली वीक है, इल है और एम्बुलेंस में जाना पड़ रहा है, और हैरास कर रहा है बार बार। एक ही आदमी, एक ही परिवार को हैरास कर रहा है। डॉक्यूमेंट्स देने के पर भी वो रिसीव नहीं कर रहा है, तो पब्लिक को वो प्रोवोक कर रहा है। तो एक गरीब आदमी कितना बार एक ऑफिस में जाएंगे काम छोड़ के, तो शायद वहां पर वैसे कोई प्रॉब्लम हुआ। हम लोग डिटेल सब कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं।
Let's take with the story getting in breaking inputs. The BJP is now accusing the TMC of allowing violence and chaos in West Bengal from Farakka to Chakulia. Roads and trains have been blocked. Stone pelting is continuing and thousands of people, including women and children, are stranded. The party says lawlessness shows the state is under TMC-backed hooligans with no police action to restore order. Listen in to the reaction coming in from BJP's Shukanta Majumdar.
See, a similar kind of pattern was also observed during the when CA was passed in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and also during the Waqf. So it's a pattern. So it is nothing to relate with SIR or CA or the Waqf. The main thing is the communal Muslim force. Some portion of the Muslim community has become, actually they have been radicalized by the preachers. Those are from Bangladesh and some people from this part of the state also. They are ready to disrupt the normal life.
Remember, Shukanta Majumdar is currently talking about this lawlessness in Bengal, which actually has a pattern. He is referring to what happened during the time when CA was also being passed. And this time around, he is saying that Bengal is no stranger to this kind of communal violence, also often that it's labelled as it is complete lawlessness, anarchy on the streets of West Bengal. And that is also something that the Supreme Court had weighed in on. But remember, blocking a key arterial highway like the NH12, blocking a railway station, this is bound to have impact not just on the commoners of Bengal, but also on the kind of, say, transportation that's taking place, the kind of trade that's taking place. Let's quickly go across to Kamalika Sengupta, who's bringing us those breaking inputs right now. Kamalika, interestingly, Shukanta Majumdar is saying that there's a pattern to this kind of lawlessness which one is witnessing in Bengal today. What has been the impact so far now that a key arterial highway like NH12 has also been blocked?
See, this is something which is really very painful, and this has happened, though it is the reason for today's this Rasta Roko is because of some migrant labor died in other states like Jharkhand, Bihar, and from he was beaten to death there, who hails from Beldanga. And today from morning his dead body was brought into the national highway, and then continuous protests were going on. Now this thing happened today. Yesterday it was Chakulia, which happened due to when the BDO office was vandalized, and day before yesterday it was Farakka, which was also because of SIR. The point is, if it's SIR or if it is for any other reason, why will a highway get blocked for more than 4 hours? And there the role of the administration definitely is questionable. Not only that, Akanksha, let me update you. One journalist of a media house, she has been brutally attacked today, and she is now hospitalized in Murshidabad. Her name is Shoma Maiti. She hails from Z24 Ghanta, the regional channel out here, and she was also severely attacked today. What will a journalist do if something like this happens? That journalist will go to cover that. But she was also attacked today. Now that is, you may ask justice, you should ask justice from the administration or whatever. What led these people attack a journalist is also a question, and definitely for the last 48 hours with SIR, it is being seen, people are harassed, people are being called for hearing. There are ways of protest, but why vandalize a video office? And there, the Trinamool Congress MLA himself was present there for a car. And when I asked him that why there should not be FIR against him, then he said that, and the statement which he made, that the Ram's paper was getting cleared and the Rahim's paper was not getting cleared.
So it's very interesting that you mentioned the presence of the TMC MLA, and my apologies for having interrupted you there, but shed light on BJP's own claims that this is in fact something that is being orchestrated by the TMC, as has been witnessed in the past. And it's interesting that you highlight that there was a TMC MLA present.
Yes, that is what is something which is concerning. The fact not only that today Chief Minister, while she was on her way to North Bengal, when she was also asked all these questions, he said that people to remain calm, but she also stood by the minorities. That is also a question. Obviously, if there is a problem, the Chief Minister and the administration will stand by the people. But the point is, look at the lawlessness on ground. Why this lawlessness is not being controlled? And we have seen such type of lawlessness is during the walk-off vote also. During the walk-off. Now the point is, the Trinamool is saying that the BJP is behind that. The BJP is saying that the Trinamool is behind that. But the fact is, there is lawlessness on the ground. 4 hours, the national highway is being blocked. Trains have stopped. Not only that, a BDO office in Chakulia vandalized like anything. They were set on fire. Police was attacked. What's going on? That's a big question. There are definitely people can protest if they have problem with SIR. But that does not mean that they will be on roads. And the Trinamool Congress MLA going there in that BDO office itself is definitely a very big concerning. So who is inciting the crowd?
Also, Kamalika, the pattern that's emerging now is that the TMC is communalizing, say, a pan-India exercise like even the SIR. What is one to make of, say, the BDO's office being attacked, the Ram Rahim analogy being drawn, just when identification proof is being asked for a pan-India exercise that every Indian is undergoing currently?
Yes, and the point is, they may raise the point politically. That is okay. There are, if you are a citizen of India, then you have various ways to prove it. Go through those ways. But the point is, taking law into their hand, and specifically Akanksha, what happened today when a journalist went there to cover it, she was severely attacked there. She's now in hospital. That is something which is really concerning. What would a journalist do if something like this happens?
And on that note, very interesting you highlight that. So you're looking at central agencies like the Enforcement Directorate being sort of barged into when they are conducting raids. You're looking at calls for dharna outside the High Court when the hearing is going to take place, and now you're talking about a female journalist being attacked. What is the TMC trying to achieve over here?
That is which is very concerning. The people who were involved today in beating up the journalists, they were those people who were protesting. But the point is, now she went there for her work, as everyone of us goes. Then who are the people and why they are targeting? If they have something, see, it is very sad that a lot of people's name might get deleted. If they are citizen of India, there are a lot of provisions to which they can add their name. Even after the 14th, if the final draft roll comes out in 14th, and if you want to add your name, then there are rules. Form 6 is there. You can go and add and show that you are a valid voter. But this thing which is going on ground, this democracy, there is definitely the people whose name unnecessary will be deleted. Definitely that should be taken into consideration.
All right.
But there is way. That does not mean that everybody will take it out on the road. That is a question.
Absolutely. This is complete mobocracy, in fact, at the hands of the TMC. On that note, let's also listen in to the reactions that have come in. Remember, Shrikanta Majumdar of the BJP has already highlighted the pattern to this kind of hooliganism that the TMC has been resorting to. On the other hand, Kunal Ghosh of the TMC continues to, in fact, defend his party. Let's listen.
देखिए, हम लोग कोई लॉ ब्रेक करने का कोई सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन देखना होगा वहां पे इलेक्शन कमीशन क्या कर रहे हैं। जेन्युइन वोटर्स को हैरास कर रहा है, बुजुर्गों को हैरास कर रहा है, जो फिजिकली वीक है, इल है और एम्बुलेंस में जाना पड़ रहा है, और हैरास कर रहा है, बार बार एक ही आदमी एक ही परिवार को हैरास कर रहा है, डॉक्यूमेंट्स देने के पर भी वो रिसीव नहीं कर रहा है, तो पब्लिक को वो प्रोवोक कर रहा है। तो एक गरीब आदमी कितना बार एक ऑफिस में जाएंगे काम छोड़ के, तो शायद वहां पर वैसे कोई प्रॉब्लम हुआ, हम लोग डिटेल सब कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं।
See, a similar kind of pattern was also observed during the CA pass when CA was passed in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and also during the Waqf. So it's a pattern. So it is nothing to relate with SIR or CA or the Waqf. The main thing is the communal Muslim force. Some portion of the Muslim community has become, actually they have been radicalized by the preachers. Those are from Bangladesh, and some people from this part of the state also. They are ready to disrupt the normal life.
All right, shifting focus over to Telangana, a temple in Hyderabad's Puranpur Darwaza area was vandalized, sparking tensions and clashes between residents and the police. The incident occurred on the night of 14th of January when unidentified individuals damaged an idol and tore a banner at the temple. Angered residents have protested, even blocked roads and damaged vehicles, leading to injuries to at least 10 people, including police personnel. The police have registered 2 FIRs, one for temple vandalism and another for damaging a nearby shrine and attacking the police as well. The AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has visited the area, urging calm and strict action against the perpetrators. The Bharatiya Janata Party leaders, including N. Ramachandra Rao, have condemned the incident, alleging a pattern of temple desecrations in Telangana. This incident comes after tensions also rose in Secunderabad after an idol at the Muthayalama temple was allegedly vandalized early on Monday as well. Listen into the reactions that have come in so far from all ends of the political spectrum.
We got some information about few anti-social elements came and nearby that temple, which is nearby Purana Pul Dwar temple, some anti-social element entered and they tried to turn one flexi. We have registered a case on appropriate section and we got some clues about the person also. So now situation is properly peaceful. There is nothing which is out of control. It is completely controlled, and our police people are doing proper patrolling to the night.
पुराने शहर में पुराना पुल दरवाज़ा, जहाँ शिवाजी महाराज यहाँ पर आके रुक के गए हैं करके ऐसा माना जाता है। और ये जो यहाँ पर जो इमारत है, इसमें छोटी सी एक मंदिर है और तहखाने में भी एक मंदिर है। कुछ मुसलमान बच्चे यहाँ पर आकर एक यहाँ शिवाजी के फ्लेक्सी को फाड़ दिए और कोशिश की गई कि हिंदू देवताओं को यहाँ पर अपमान किया जाए। ये जो घटना घटी है, ये अपने आप में एक साधारण घटना नहीं है। क्यों? सोच समझकर हिंदुओं के देवी देवताओं को अपमान करने के लिए, हिंदुओं को भड़काने के लिए ये ऐसा काम चल रहा है।
If you see this pattern of these forces who belong to the Sangh Parivar, who are trying to create a communal disturbance in Hyderabad, majority of the incidents are happening in night time. And it is happening on an issue which has no relevance at all. They are trying to create a communal controversy. Some say a poster was torn, some say something happened over there. My concern is that what is the local police doing over there? And my request to the people of that area and people of Hyderabad is that we don't require such incidents at all. We require Hyderabad to be peaceful so that Hyderabad progresses.
Quickly go across to PV Ramana, who's been tracking the latest for us. PV Ramana, there's been 2 cases that have been filed. If you could shed more light on both the FIRs, what action has been taken so far, and of course follow it up with the pattern that is being spoken of by the BJP.
Yeah, police is still searching for the culprits who were vandalized this particular temple, which is happened day before yesterday in the old city area of Hyderabad. So the temple, in that temple premises, all the idols and other things were damaged, other things were vandalized by unknown persons. And of course, by noticing that, all the people over there came over there and they staged protest against the entire issue and all. Police visited the space, and moreover, the place is that Purana Pool area is completely old city area of Hyderabad. The people was very sensitive area when it comes to the communal kind of a thing. So all the people came over there and they staged a protest over there. And the police also deployment. As of now, still the police deployment is very high in that particular area. Police stated that they will catch the whoever the culprits for this entire incident and all. They will catch them in the 24 hours, but it's not happened. As of now, still the police is searching for the victim. Police is searching for the accused who did all these things and all. And it is created some politically also. It's very sensitive one because BJP, MIM, and BRS leaders visited that place. And they have seen that entire area and all. They demanded the police to catch the culprits.
So Ramana, when we talk about the political sort of the kind of political rhetoric that's building up, we are seeing how the BJP, the BRS are highlighting that there's been a spike in such incidents under the current Revanth Reddy government. But having said that, you also have someone like an Asaduddin Owaisi from the AIMIM who are saying that there are certain Sangh forces which are at play over here, which want to perhaps fan these kind of communal fears.
Yeah, even BJP Union Minister Pandit Sanjay told that he is not Revanth Reddy, he is Revantuddin. That's what exactly coming from the Pandit Sanjay, in fact, because his allegation is that he's encouraging the communal things, communal right, and moreover, he's trying to make the allegation that he is trying to encourage the Hindu temples, Hindu devotional places and all. And the MIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi also visited that place and he stated that, of course, he is also demanded the police to undertake more stringent action against the culprits and all, and he wanted more security in the temples and other prayer places, irrespective of the religion and all. So as of now, still the situation is very sensitive. Police deployment is very huge, very high in that area, and people who over there is still under the panic because the huge number of people were gathered. It has created a communal rights kind of a thing in Hyderabad. So it is created a lot of sensitive issue in Hyderabad. As of now, situation is under control. Police's deployment is high and trying to sabotage the entire things, trying to control the entire thing, in particular Purana Pool area and the Charminar area of Hyderabad.
All right, many thanks to you, PV Ramana, for bringing us all those inputs. The situation, as Ramana has been highlighting, remains extremely volatile and fragile as far as Telangana is concerned, Hyderabad to be particular. And with that, shifting focus over to the top stories that we're tracking this hour. Prime Minister Modi has paid homage to Tamil poet Thiruvalluvar on his day, saying his works and ideals inspire countless people. He said that Thiruvalluvar stood for a harmonious and compassionate society and urged people to read his works to understand his timeless wisdom. Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin was seen flagging off the Palamedu Jallikattu in Madurai at Vijay's TVKS flag were also spotted at the venue, drawing attention. Posters reading non-Hindus entry prohibited area have been put up around Har Ki Pauri in Haridwar. The posters have triggered controversy with questions being raised over their legality and impact on communal harmony. Devotees are gathering in large numbers at the Triveni Sangam in Prayagraj as Magh Mela 2026 begins. Pilgrims are taking the holy dip or snans, believing it will purify their soul. Rehearsals for the 77th Republic Day Parade are in full swing at the Kartavya Path in the national capital. Marching contingents and tableau teams are gearing up for the grand celebration. Indian men's cricket team head coach Gautam Gambhir visited the Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain. He attended the early morning Bhasma Aarti, offering prayers at one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. That's all I have for you in this broadcast. Thank you so much for watching. News and updates continue with Ayushman on the other side.
Hello and welcome to CNN News 18 with me Ayushman Singh Jamwal. Here are the top headlines. The BJP breaches the Thackeray bastion as their 30-year-old rule in the Mumbai Civic body comes to an end. Mahayuti comfortably crosses the halfway mark. Reunion fails to help the Thackeray brothers as they lag far behind. The Mahayuti nativist Raj loses over 90% of seats contested. The Pawar family reunion fails to make any impact in the family bastion of Pune as the united NCP languishes far behind the BJP, which is headed for a majority on its own in Maharashtra's cultural capital. And Rahul Gandhi at it again leads the Congress chorus of vote chori as the party shifts blame to the poll panel for its drubbing in the civic polls. BJP hits back, calls Rahul the leader of propaganda with zero credibility. After violence and vandalism over the special intensive revision, now Bengal's border district of Murshidabad burns over a migrant worker's death in Jharkhand. The BJP blames the TMC, accusing it of jungle raj. The Badminton Association of India's General Secretary denies sightings of monkeys inside the stadium despite video evidence. Says even if the reports are to be believed, no harm was done. Doctors' body writes to the Union Health Minister JP Nadda expressing grave concerns over the sub-zero cutoff in NEET, say it must be withdrawn else it will erode public trust in medical institutions. And tensions escalate in the Middle East. The US moves the carrier strike group to the region amid the tensions in Iran. And shifting our focus to the big political shift in the maximum city, the Maharashtra Civic poll results continue to pour in. The BJP-led alliance has surged past the 100-seat mark, while the Thackeray faction trails significantly at 68. NDA sources say that the Mumbai numbers indicate that the combined vote share of the BJP is at a whopping 34% and the Shiv Sena at 20%, 54% decisively pushed the UBT and MNS combined to the margins. The Sharad Pawar-Ajit Pawar reunion in their strongholds of Pune and Pimpri-Chinchwad seems to be a flop as the BJP has taken a huge lead in both the civic bodies. In Pimpri-Chinchwad, the BJP is ahead in 70 wards while the Pawars are leading in 40 wards. The spotlight is on Mumbai, where the Thackeray brothers have reunited to reclaim their heritage and are standing against the BJP Shiv Sena alliance. But at the same time, as per the trends of the numbers come in, it's a complete wipeout of the Thackeray reunion which has taken place in the maximum city. The nativist born Raj Thackeray seems to have lost his deposit in almost 90% of those seats, given the fact that the complete wipeout has taken place at the hands of the Mahayuti alliance. That is the indication coming in from the maximum city as well as other civic bodies across Maharashtra. I'm joined by my colleague Yesha Kotak on the broadcast. Yesha, so clearly the mood is and the josh is high in the Mahayuti camp given this stunning result that has come in from the maximum city. The Thackeray faction's reunion with Raj Thackeray was unable to stem the tide and the support that the Fadnavis government has at the state level, and it seems that entire faith has emanated down to the civic bodies as well.
Absolutely, and that is quite evident right here, very close to the BJP office. You see a saffron wave all across. Celebrations are in full swing. In fact, until this morning, though the trends last night suggested a clean sweep for Mahayuti, but despite that, early this morning, all we saw was just some barricading. But now, just in the last couple of hours, as the trends have picked up from the Mahayuti crossing that halfway mark to now, the BJP itself being very close to the century is where we've seen celebrations have started in full swing. In the next couple of minutes from now, we'd also expect the Chief Minister to be here, the state senior leadership to be here, and also the Mumbai BJP leadership to be here to celebrate this very win. In fact, you see the poster right behind. It shows how, it's the BJP which will now have their reins over the BMC. Clearly so, we've been speaking about the triple engine sarkar, that at centre, then at state and at Mumbai, and rightly so, that is now possible under the leadership of the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. In the last couple of days, there have been several questions that have been asked by opposition as to why the central leadership did not make their way to Mumbai this time around close to the election. In fact, there were allegations that for the smallest of the elections, BJP feels the central leadership. But this time it was on the state leadership. We decided that they will take on this very task and deliver by themselves, and that is rightly being seen here. In the last 25 years, we've of course seen the Shiv Sena and the BJP being alliance. But however, this time around with the divided Shiv Sena, the BJP, for that matter, Chief Minister had promised that it will be a Hindu Marathi mayor of BJP, which will in fact be sitting at the BMC, and that now looks very close to reality, as when it comes to the halfway mark that's already been crossed. Of course, the decision will be taken in an eventual polling that takes place later on. But now, as of now that we speak of, clearly what was being really spoken about, be it the Marathi Asmita, the pride of Maharashtrians, all of that seems to have really not worked with the voters. In fact, even when we were in the run-up to the election, we were speaking to several people. They said that in Mumbai, what really matters is development. People who really look at the core issues, someone who can work for their core issues rather than making these promises or making political statements. But that's really come to light now. When we speak about exit poll figures, right now, when we speak of the BJP, the numbers have gone far beyond what the exit polls in fact had predicted. And you see, this very party office, the state party office, there are flowers that have been put. All the celebrations are ready. Very soon we'll also see jalebis being distributed right here to celebrate this very win. So yes, just a couple of minutes more before this very celebration can begin. In fact, what we also see is that some of the some of those places which were dominant when we speak of the whole Thackeray cousins coming together, it was important to note that it was being seen as a game changer in this very election. But that does not really seem to have worked in the favor. We need to see as to whom the Marathi Manus really went in support of, because clearly so far the figures show, of course, a 60 plus mark for the Thackeray cousins. But that Thackeray magic that was being spoken about did not help them get a stronghold over BMC, because BMC has been a stronghold for Shiv Sena and they were really eyeing that. Ever since the Vidhan Sabha elections, it was we could see the kind of magic working in the favor of BJP, and that's rightly so. We've seen that even in the Nagar Panchayat and Nagar Parishad elections, right, and again in the BMC elections. Right behind me, you can see fireworks have already started, and now in some time from now is where celebration will begin right behind me at this BJP office as well.
Right, so the celebrations continuing at the BJP office. Mayuresh, I want to get your take on the Thackeray factor. Now, the inkling was that the Thackerays were not able to communicate any significant track record when it comes to their performance in the maximum city in Mumbai. Even as Chief Minister, Uddhav Thackeray could not point to any significant kind of project, any significant track record. As an administrator, Raj Thackeray was making the rants against the migrant community when it came to Mumbai. So given that entire dynamics of the Thackeray camp within the maximum city, the BJP was trusted to be that kind of political force that could deliver significant change to Mumbai. Clearly there are a lot of problems in Mumbai, but the people of the city feel that the BJP is the best bet to solve those problems.
Oh, absolutely, because this time what has happened, both the brothers have heavily concentrated on Marathi vote. They basically focused on Marathi Manus, Marathi Asmita, and both of them concentrated on Marathi, and that's why a lot of non-Marathi voters must have got upset with their this agenda. Because we have seen in the past also during Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha, a lot of non-Marathi voters have also heavily voted for Uddhav Thackeray. They must be having some anger against the center of the state government. That's why they felt that Uddhav Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray led Mahavikas Aghadi was the better option for that. So that is one point. Second point, people were having a lot of hopes from Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray that they will come up with the plans. But there is a kind of a bit of a anger against Uddhav Thackeray also, because from past 25 years he was ruling, or his party was in power in BMC, and no significant development had happened except few. So that's why there is a kind of anger against Uddhav Thackeray also, and which must have got percolated. So the magic which everyone was talking about, that Uddhav Thackeray will or Raj Thackeray will do that in favor of Uddhav Thackeray, I can see that the numbers are at least growing, but both the brothers coming together have not heavily contributed or have not served the purpose for it.
Right, and Yasha, when it comes to the dynamics coming in from all of these parties, does it seem that the loss of the right? We're also joined by Pradeep Gupta of Access My India. I toss over to my colleague Shivani to take that forward.
Thanks a lot for that. Pradeep Gupta, Chairman, Access My India, that had obviously done one of those exit polls ahead of these Maharashtra municipal elections, is also joining us. Pradeep Gupta, thanks a lot for joining us here on CNN News 18. You had predicted anywhere between 131 to 151 for the Mahayuti. The numbers are settling just a little bit lower than that, about 10 lower than that. Is that because of lower voting percentages? How would you describe the results that are coming in?
Yes, thank you for having me here, and I would say in other channel, and particularly there is a website which is a proper website of my corporator. There the number for Mahayuti at this point of time is 130, and for Thackeray brothers it is 72, and for Congress it is 14, and for others it is about 9 and 10. So I mean it is pretty much on that line. But having said that, if you see my prediction report, we have clearly said that if these numbers are based on the voter turnout, because in a city-based election, voter turnout plays a very vital role, and 54% voter turnout, now it end up near to 53, and 1%, I have also written that 1% will impact about 10 seats for Mahayuti. So which is the case, my range would have been in this case 131 to 141, and precisely the 130 what is likely to be there.
So in your exit poll, you obviously saw the Mahayuti combine being the single largest and clearly crossing that halfway mark of 114. But did you anticipate the BJP alone doing so well?
Yes, it was anticipated, but my range for BJP itself was about 95 seats. So they done little better than that, 99 what I can see on your screen. And Shinde Sena actual tally is 31. So in your screen it is showing 26, it is actually 31. We have predicted about 35 to 40 odd seat for these in this Sena.
So how do you, what do you feel, did you feel worked so well favorably both in for Mahayuti but particularly for the BJP, because this is a big shift in Mumbai politics now?
Yes, definitely yes, and we'll have to see that the kind of demography evolved over the last 20 years, particularly of Mumbai, for that matter overall metropolitan region. So what had happened actually in last these many years, the Marathi votes total contribution has reduced, and the North Indians, Gujaratis, Rajasthani and others has increased. So at this time it is 37% to be precise. The Maharashtrian votes contributes in the BMC, and about 19% to the Muslim or the minority. Rest 44%, some is of course Christian. So about 40 to 42% is non-Muslim, non-Marathi, and that is where BJP, the reverse polarization happens. And what you see actually in our when we come the vote share between these community group, Marathi BJP plus 30, UBT 49, half of the total Marathi vote share secured by UBT. Among the North Indian, there you see the sharp hike in favor of BJP plus 68%, and UBT only 90%. South Indian 61% to BJP plus 21 to this. Gujarati, Rajasthani 69% for BJP plus and 18%. So here you can see the clear cut. Had there been an alliance of Congress like Lok Sabha or for that matter assembly election, this picture would have been little different.
Right. So you are, of course, talking about how not coming together has hurt the Mahavikas Aghadi quite a bit in these elections. But, you know, these elections are also being seen as a litmus test for that quote-unquote Marathi vote. What were your predictions, and do you think the results are now proving to be correct? It's not as if Uddhav has lost all of that Marathi vote. MNS has performed really badly, I'm sure according to their own expectations. But how much of that was the BJP Shinde Sena able to get versus Uddhav Thackeray and MNS, the Marathi vote?
Yeah, so as far as Marathi vote goes, see, you have to see this thing in pockets. So there are three big regions within BMC. One is the Greater Bombay, which start from the other side, the Matunga to Kolaba, and this side, Mahim to Kolaba. So this is one pocket where the Thackeray brothers has scored very good. In fact, in Dadar, Bhiwandi, Dadar, Parel, Lalbagh, Worli, all these areas, Shivaji Park, Thackeray brothers has done very good. But when it comes to the central suburbs, where the vote, the Marathi in particular votes has split between Shinde and Thackeray brothers, particularly Marathi brothers, where the Bhanduk, Mulund, all these areas are concerned, and which is the bordering or the neighboring to the Thane, where the Shinde come from, the strong the bastion of Eknath Shinde hold. And when it comes to the western suburbs, where BJP has done extremely well, like all these elections in the past. So this is something I would say the case. And MNS coming to the fold of the both Thackeray brothers contesting the election, what had happened to some extent, it has consolidated the Maharashtrian votes. But the other side, it also consolidated heavily the other non-Marathi, non-Muslim votes. And as far as the Muslim vote goes, they are also voted differently in three pockets, which is where the predominantly the Muslim minority vote, you can say, which is the Bhaikala, Paidhuni, Kalba Devi. This is the town area where Congress and MIM has secured almost half of the vote. The third is UBT among the minority vote.
So what is the headline? What is the headline really as far as the Marathi vote is concerned? Can the Thackeray still claim they still have very much the support of the Marathi Manus, or has that shifted if we compare it to past elections?
I will say I don't get into all this Marathi vote or this vote or that vote. Whatever the verdict people have given, definitely they have given for the development. And when I say development, in our report, in our exit poll finding, there were issues like drainage system, because 60% of the population residing in chawls and slum area, where during the rainy time they get a very hard time. That's one. Two, the garbage collection. Third, the pesticides, and during that time, particularly dengue, malaria, all these issues had. Because last 4 years, there is no local representative available because of this election is being held now after 9 years. So this is something very important. And when people vote, they see good development by the BJP, particularly state government, so as the central government, and they believe particularly large infrastructural projects, whether it's the coastal road or whether the metro, multiple metros, and so Atal Setu, so many things. They see, without central support or without the state government support, it is not possible. And we know although that Mumbaikars and particularly Marathi Manus are smart enough to select the right candidate. party for that matter.
All right. So it is local issues plus developmental issues that have really trumped every other narrative in this election.
Yes.
Pradeep Gupta, I do thank you for joining us and sharing
Thank
your analysis with us. Back to my colleague Ayushman with more.
And breaking news coming in, the legal tussle continues in the 30,000 crore estate row involving the inheritance of Sanjay Kapoor in the wake of his death. Now, as actor Karishma Kapoor's legal team has now given out this piece of information where they have opposed a plea filed by Priya Kapoor Sachdev in the top court of the country. Priya Kapoor Sachdev had approached the Supreme Court seeking access to the divorce documents related to Sanjay Kapoor and Karishma Kapoor when it comes to not just child custody but also the financial arrangements after their divorce back in 2016. However, Karishma Kapoor's counsel has objected to the plea, arguing that it's not maintainable under law. The court, however, has issued a notice on the plea filed by Priya Sachdev and has directed Karishma Kapoor's counsel to file a formal response within 2 weeks. Now, while the objection on maintainability was raised, the court has also kept the issue open for consideration given the entire tussle over the 30,000 crore inheritance of Sanjay Kapoor and the fight between Priya Sachdev and Karishma Kapoor's children. I'm joined by my colleague Ananya Bhatnagar. Ananya, we were discussing this yesterday as well, the fight over the 30,000 crore estate, and Priya Sachdev has demanded the details of the divorce agreement back in 2016, not only when it comes to the financial arrangements, but even the custody arrangements in that 2016 agreement.
Well, absolutely. In fact, Karishma Kapoor's lawyers have actually opposed this particular plea that has been filed before, in fact, the Supreme Court seeking, the kind of divorce decree and the divorce documents between Sanjay Kapoor and Karishma Kapoor, saying that, Priya Kapoor Sachdev is a third party to this, complete proceeding and cannot seek these documents because these are personal in nature. Not only that, the court has asked, in fact, Karishma Kapoor's lawyers to actually put their, response on or objections on record, but has clearly refused to issue a notice at this particular stage. The hearing would be happening after 2 weeks have been given to actually put their objections on record, and very clearly Karishma Kapoor's lawyers have opposed this particular plea by Priya Kapoor Sachdev, saying that it's not maintainable in law because Priya Kapoor Sachdev has no locus because she is a third party to these divorce proceedings and she is nobody connected to this particular case, and hence these documents cannot actually be given to Priya Kapoor Sachdev because divorce proceedings are usually personal in nature and these documents cannot be shared, is what in fact Karishma Kapoor's lawyers have actually argued before, in fact, the topmost court of the country. Remember that this hearing was in chambers, hence it was not something that was happening in an open court. So very clearly at this juncture, what we know so far is that 2 weeks time has been given out to file objections, and the hearing has been adjourned today. However, very clearly Karishma's counsels have opposed this particular petition, and we'll have to wait and watch as to how things fold out and where will this whole family feud go up to.
In fact, we're getting another big update that's coming in where Ananya in fact spoke to Sanjay Kapoor's sister Mandira Kapoor Smith when it comes to this entire push coming in from Priya Sachdev in the top court of the country. Now she has termed Priya Kapoor knocking the Supreme Court's door as a ridiculous act. Mandira has also questioned Priya's need for Karishma and Sanjay Kapoor's divorce documents from back in 2016. Listen in.
Call recording floating, Mandira, with regards to Priya Sachdev Kapoor. How do you see these developments taking place? Because since the judgment is already reserved and these call records, which are purportedly floating on social media, tell a different story altogether.
Well, I've always said from the beginning that the truth will come out. And I stand by that. The truth will come out. It's now, let's see what plan they have to cover it up, whether they, what excuses they're going to come up with. But as far as I go, I've always stood by the truth will come out, and I believe in the justice system in this country. That seems to be happening now.
Priya Sachdev Kapoor has knocked the doors of the Supreme Court seeking the divorce papers of Sanjay Kapoor and Karishma Kapoor. How do you see these developments? Because certain financial details have also been sought as far as things.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Number one, she has nothing to do with it. Secondly, she's already shown it in court, which she shouldn't have, because she's not brought out her divorce, information. No one's asked her. I don't know why she's brought Karishma's out, firstly. She has nothing to do with it, and she has nothing to do with the divorce. So I think it's a bit ridiculous that she has actually gone to the lengths of to the Supreme Court to ask for these documents when A, she already has them, B, what are you trying to achieve?
There's a claim that has been made, in fact, by Priya Sajdev Kapoor in a written submission that's been filed before, in fact, the Delhi High Court, wherein she claims that she has borne the expenses of Karishma's children after, in fact, Sanjay Kapoor's death. How do you see that, she has given an amount of over 96 lakh rupees that she has spent on the children as far as their travel and everything else is concerned?
Simple question, is she spending on Azaris? Because those are also my brother's kids. She's not doing any favors. Those are my brother's kids, so they have to be looked after. No one's doing any favors, and again, this is not her estate to be doing anything for anyone. So let's bring out her 2 kids' expenses and see what they're spending on them. Don't try and act like she can't act like she's doing any favors here. These are my brother's kids, this is our estate.
One thing that she has very categorically mentioned during the arguments also and in her written submissions is that both Ms. Rani Kapoor and the children of Karishma Kapoor have already gained a substantial amount of Sanjay Kapoor's wealth as far as the Rani Kapoor Trust is concerned. They've been given a big amount as per Priya Sajdev Kapoor. Is this something that you subscribe by, and why basically she's questioning as to why then after receiving such a big amount these people are knocking the doors of the Delhi High Court?
Firstly, let me make it really clear. It's not hers to give to anyone. It doesn't belong to her, number 1. Number 2, nobody has received anything. It's all lies. Let her back it up with some truth. But firstly, again, I'm going to stick to it's not hers to give. And again, I'm going to say, if she's so thinking about giving 19 crores or whatever she's claimed, why doesn't she keep that and give the rest back to the family? Because it's not hers to give.
Well, absolutely. In fact, this is the kind of position that's emerging. The judgment is to come out very, very soon. It's already reserved. How hopeful are you with the Delhi High Court's judgment?
Again, I'll say I believe in the justice system. I think it's very clear to everybody what is going on, and more comes out every day. I think the ridiculousness of asking to the Supreme Court for a divorce papers or agreement which has happened between someone who would, Lolo, Karishma and Sanjay, Sanjay is her ex-husband, but she has nothing to do with Karishma. So I don't understand. You can see the ridiculousness to distract and do all this rubbish for what? Let's just come out with the truth. Let's be done with this. You've got a whole family suffering this for what?
And Ananya continues to be with us on the broadcast. Ananya, just decode for our viewers, where could the law lean on this, as the Supreme Court has not dismissed the plea that's come in from Priya Sajdev. Now, given the fact that she has sought details about the inheritance agreement that was between Karishma Kapoor and Sanjay Kapoor during their divorce in 2016, she sought the modalities of that agreement in their divorce agreement, and that's why she wants access to those records. Isn't that the nub of the entire tussle between the two sides? Because the family has made it extremely clear that the truth must come out, and Priya Sajdev's argument is that through getting access to those divorce records, the truth will come out.
Well, absolutely. That's exactly what Priya Kapoor Sajdev is saying, though we might not preempt as to what the Supreme Court would be doing. It has not taken any view as far as the maintainability of this petition is concerned, because it has asked Karishma Kapoor's lawyers to actually, raise their objections in writing before the Supreme Court, and only after that, a proper hearing would actually take place in this particular matter, where Priya Kapoor Sajdev is seeking, in fact, the divorce documents of Karishma Kapoor and Sanjay Kapoor. But Karishma's counsels have clearly objected to the same, saying that she's a third party to this particular issue, and since divorce documents are something that are very, very personal in nature, the same cannot actually be given, and this petition shall not be entertained as far as the topmost court of the country is concerned. As far as the Delhi High Court judgment is concerned, we heard Mandira saying that she has in fact a lot of faith in the judicial system, and very soon we might see that the judgment from the Delhi High Court would come in. Remember that Karishma's counsels have constantly told the court that Priya Kapoor Sajdev is a kind of a Cinderella stepmother who took away everything from Sanjay Kapoor's children, especially the ones from Karishma Kapoor. Not only that, Rani Kapoor, who's the mother of Sanjay Kapoor, has also accused Priya Kapoor Sachdev of wrongdoing, saying that, various people, unknown people, had actually locked her into a room and certain documents were signed. Soon, ahead of Priya Kapoor Sachdev taking on the board of directors of Sona Concern, and that is something, that makes it very, very fishy as far as this family feud is concerned. So we'll have to wait and watch as to how things pan out and where would all of this actually lead to.
Right, but Ananya, just from a legal point of view, the fact that Karishma Kapoor's legal team as well as certain people connected to her have talked about aspects of that divorce agreement in public. Could Priya Sachdev's legal team use that as an opening to argue against the plea now that Karishma Kapoor's legal team has filed that in the top court, opposing Priya Sachdev's plea to get access to those documents?
Karishma's counsels have not yet filed anything before the Supreme Court. They have to file it in 2 weeks, and very clearly at this juncture, what is very, very clear is that the Supreme Court is also to decide on the maintainability, because that issue has been raised by Karishma Kapoor's counsels. But whether Priya Kapoor Sachdev will succeed or not is something that only time can tell us, or the Supreme Court could. But very clearly the judgment and the arguments before the Delhi High Court have also been reserved. The arguments had been addressed for almost months, and then the judgment was reserved in December 2025. So we'll soon see that the judgment would come out, and some kind of settlement as far as the law is concerned would be done as per this family feud is concerned. So at this particular juncture, all eyes are on the Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court as far as these two petitions are concerned.
Right, so we'll have to wait and see what the Supreme Court has to make of the arguments from both sides, given the fact that Priya Sachdev has said that when it comes to the entire question of inheritance, details of that divorce agreement between Sanjay Kapoor and Karishma Kapoor back in 2016 needs to be accessed to reveal the truth about what was that divorce agreement, what was the modality of the inheritance, as well as child custody, as well as those financial arrangements that were made in that 2016 agreement. We'll have to wait and see whether the Supreme Court leans on that matter. Shifting focus to a wrap of all the other news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid homage to Tamil poet Thiruvarur on Thiruvarur Day, saying his works and ideals inspire countless people. He said Thiruvarur stood for a harmonious and compassionate society and urged people to read the Tirukural to understand his timeless wisdom. Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udayanithi Stalin was seen flagging off the Palamedu Jallikattu in Madurai. Actor Vijay's TVK flags were also spotted at the venue, drawing attention. Posters reading "Non-Hindus entry prohibited area" have been put up around Har Ki Pauri in Haridwar. The posters have triggered controversy, with questions being raised over their legality and impact on communal harmony. Devotees are gathering in large numbers at the Triveni Sangam in Prayagraj. As the Magh Mela 2026 begins, pilgrims are taking holy dips, believing it will purify the soul and bring spiritual merit. Rehearsals for the 77th Republic Day Parade are in full swing at Kartavya Path in the national capital. Marching contingents and tableau teams are gearing up for the grand celebrations. Indian men's cricket team head coach Gautam Gambhir visited the Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain. He attended the early morning Bhasma Aarti, offering prayers at one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. And the next top story, ladies and gentlemen, that's dominating the headlines and sparking debate across the country. Uproar continues over the reduction of the NEET PG cutoff. The 0 percentile category has now been lowered to -40, triggering widespread outrage across the medical community. Amid this outrage, the IMA President Dr. Dilip Bhanushali has backed the move, saying that the seats must be filled. But the Federation of Resident Doctors Association has urged the centre to withdraw the cutoff reduction, warning that it threatens merit-based selection and could erode public trust in the medical profession. Another federation has also slammed the decision, calling the reduction illogical and unjustifiable. It said that allowing candidates with negative marks to qualify undermines the credibility of the examination and has warned of nationwide protests if corrective measures are not taken. And I'm joined by my colleague Himani Channa on the broadcast. So Himani, when it comes to the arguments coming in from the government, they have said that this move is essential when it comes to filling up the vacant posts across the country. But the issue of credibility and competence is something that the doctors are raising across the country. But the union government, as well as those backing the reduction of the percentile, they are saying that competence as well as credibility is not affected by this move. How do you square that?
Right. So I have the latest here. The Medical Counselling Committee has today released the schedule for round 3 counselling as well. This shows that government stands by the decision of lowering the cutoff to the 0 percentile, and the schedule says that choice filling on the website for the candidates has already been rolled out from today. This means that website has been put open and the aspirants can now fill out their choices till 26th of January, and the schedule says that NEET PG seat allocation allotment process will begin on January 27 and results will be announced on January 29th. This clearly shows that central government as of now is not in mood to take any U-turn. So far, whatever we can understand from the situation, it is the crisis managements. They are trying to manage the crisis because they were faced with heavy numbers of seats that were not filled, around 18,000. And what we understand is that majority of these seats were in the private sector. In the public medical colleges, the seats that were left vacant were the non-medical seats. These are the seats where students are not generally very interested to take up because they actually take up their chances of becoming the clinical, the practicing doctors. Instead, these seats push them towards taking the academic or the professor kind of roles. So majority of clinical seats are now available in the private hospitals, for which majorly the government has also said that they have lowered the cutoff to prevent the wastage of those seats. And when we talk about the private medical colleges and the availability of seats there, we must take into consideration the higher fees, which is upwards of rupees 75 lakh. So when we compare a student who has got negative marks, minus 40, and bank balance, they can definitely afford those seats. However, student who has got 300 marks out of 800, but they don't have the money to pay that fees, they will not be able to take up those seats and may try to reattempt NEET PG next year, or may try to go abroad, or maybe they try and continue with the MBBS instead of upgrading their skill set.
Right, so this clearly has a lot of issues, and at the same time the argument also coming in that this will only benefit private medical colleges who now have the ambit to fill several vacant seats in their particular institutions at very steep prices, as you were pointing out, Himani. I'm also joined by Dr. Bhibu Anand, Chief Advisor of bईमह. Dr. Anand, where do you stand on this entire order that's come in from the central government to lower the NEET percentile?
Very good afternoon to everyone. Actually, the thing is that when the government has set up this reduction in the NEET PG percentile, the score has fallen to minus 40 marks. I want to just draw the attention of the government to the point that if a candidate appearing in the exam even attempts not a single question, that means the candidate will get 0 marks. But if the candidate is attempting the question and making the wrong answers, then there will be negative marking and the cutoff marks will reduce and the marks that the candidate gets will be in negative. So if a person is attempting the question and he is or she is getting a negative mark, that means he doesn't know the answer. And when he doesn't know the answer, that means what he have studied in all the years to appear in the entrance exam, that means what the person is knowing about and what he or she is having the knowledge to treat the patient. And in the course of PG, post-graduation, the doctor has to take the rounds of the patients and has to treat the patient, and they have to see the patient after when the patient is admitted in a hospital or in a sector of nursing home. At that time, when the candidate is not knowing about what he has studied in all the 5 years of MBBS and he is getting minus 40 marks and getting admission on the basis of you can tell lakhs and crores of rupees, he is getting or she is getting admission in a medical college and hospital, and she is getting eligible by this cutoff percentile reduction. That means the patient is how will be getting good treatment unless until the person is knowing about the things. If the person is not knowing about the thing, that means he will not able to treat the patient well, and the patient will be the sufferer. And if there will be any case or sue on the doctor, at that time then the government will back off.
Right,
This is
but,
not the
right,
way.
but Dr. Anand, can you clarify this? You do have to qualify as an MBBS, as an MBBS doctor. You do have to clear that before you head towards the NEET PG percentile. So the skill set is there among the doctors, is the argument that's coming in from the government.
Yeah, the thing is that I am not taking it that he or she is not cleared the MBBS. He has and she is cleared the MBBS and is eligible to appear in the exam.
Yeah.
But there are more skills have to be determined during the PG course when that skills get more furnished in the way to treat the patient, and there are complications and more situations appearing during the treatment, and at that time that skills are just basic level skills, and those skills should be more nurtured in a way that will be able to take the patient in a good way of treatment.
Right.
But if there will be lack of that nurturement because he is not fit for getting a post graduation due to that much of low cutoff percentile, minus 40 marks, then the patient will be the sufferer.
Right.
And when
So,
the
Dr.
patient
Anand,
will
are
be the
you
sufferer-
saying that this is pretty much stamping insincerity, stamping laziness? Because after clearing the MBBS, as you are pointing out, someone with an SC, ST, OBC credential just needs to go into the exam hall and not write a single thing. They'll get 0, yet they will qualify for the NEET PG.
Yes, absolutely. If the person goes to the entrance exam room and he doesn't mark any answer, still he will get the 0 mark and he will be eligible. So how can you think? And I will ask the government to draw attention about this fact that the person who is appearing in the exam is getting doesn't appearing even a single question, is getting 0 mark and is appearing in the post graduation, and he is completing the 3 years course on the basis of lakhs and crores of money. This is minting money to the private sector. I don't believe why the government is doing this such of things, and despite they should think about the patient, that the patient should be treated well, and when the patients are not treated well, the patients will have to suffer, and the government should think about the patient. And when the doctor will be claimed, the doctor will be sued, the doctor will be cased upon that this doctor is treating the patient and this is medical negligence. At that time the doctor registration is cancelled. Then where is the doctor standing? You are putting the doctors who are having 0 percentile or minus 40 marks to the post graduation course, and when he does his post graduation, then he do some medical negligence, then the government says that no, doctor is wrong. This is the fact.
So all these people who could benefit from this new marking, you're saying they will suffer the consequences down the line. And at the same time, Dr. Anand, what do you say about the credibility of the medical fraternity? Now, if anyone goes to a specialist in the wake of this entire system, do you think they will have question marks in their head? Did this person even properly qualify to become a specialist after clearing the MBBS? Do you think that question will linger in every citizen in the wake of this system?
Absolutely. Your question is very much correct. Even after this incident, I am facing many issues from the patients. They are lacking confidence in doctors. They are thinking that the person who is getting minus 40 marks is sitting and treating me. Now the generation of artificial intelligence, now the patients has also known to very much things. Now we doctors, as a doctors, have to be much knowledge about the things, then only we can treat the patient. We can't bluff the patient. These things are very much now open to the whole system, that the patient is knowing about the treatment also now. The patient is coming and they are sometimes testing the doctors also. So this lack of knowledge will just hamper the ecosystem between the doctor and patient relationship. The PR-ship will be very much bad after this type of step. We can't gain the confidence of the patient, and the patients will feel that they are insecure in coming to the specialist doctor because they are having the not properly knowledge about the things.
Right. Dr. Bibu Anand, thank you so much for joining us and giving us that perspective. That's a very eye-opening statement that you're making over there, that given the fact that vacancies can be filled by this move, the long-term damage to the medical fraternity, it will be evident in the long term, in the years to come after the system gets completely implemented. Thank you so much for giving us that perspective. Getting a piece of breaking news in the wake of the BMC elections. And breaking news coming in after the Mahayuti victory in the maximum city. Fadnavis has congratulated the BJP Mumbai unit chief Amit Satam. Listen in.
खूप अभिनंदन. खूप डायरेक्ट चांगलं झालं. आता काही चिंता करायचं कारण नाही. फार सुंदर केला तुम्ही. फार तुमचं अभिनंदन आहे. आता आपण बस एकदम जबरदस्त आहे त्याच्यात म्हणजे let us hope. Yes. अमित खूप अभिनंदन. खूप डायरेक्ट चांगलं झालं. आता काही चिंता करायचं कारण नाही. फार सुंदर केला तुम्ही. फार तुमचं अभिनंदन आहे. आता आपण बस एकदम जबरदस्त आहे त्याच्यात म्हणजे let us hope. Yes. अमित खूप अभिनंदन. खूप डायरेक्ट चांगलं झालं. आता काही चिंता करायचं कारण नाही. फार सुंदर केला तुम्ही. फार तुमचं अभिनंदन आहे. आता आपण बस एकदम जबरदस्त आहे त्याच्यात म्हणजे let us hope. Yes. अमित
My colleague Yasha Kotak. Yasha, so we can see a very jubilant Devendra Fadnavis thanking the BJP unit chief in Mumbai, thanking him for that whopping victory in the maximum city as the BJP has swept the BMC elections from a fringe player when it comes to Maharashtra politics to becoming the big brother and now to becoming the big daddy, if you will, when it comes to Maharashtra politics. It's a huge sea change for the BJP working from the ground up, especially in the maximum city, and now claiming the BMC.
Absolutely. In fact, not only did the Chief Minister call up the BJP Mumbai Chief Amit Satam, but he also called up BJP State Chief Ravindra Chauhan, congratulating them for the win. Clearly, rightly so. In fact, this is something that we've been speaking about for last couple of hours. How there was allegations by the opposition that this time around did not choose to call up any of the national leaders whom the people resonate with early on, and decided that it will be the mandate or the onus on the state leadership to ensure that they deliver in the BMC elections. And that's rightly been, in fact, that's rightly showed up now in this very BMC and the other municipal corporation elections, because not only BMC but several other municipal corporations.
Right. Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt. We're getting an exclusive interview with Eknath Shinde. Tossing over to my colleague Rahul Shivshankar.
Thanks indeed. Yes, Ayushman, we're joined by the giant slayer really of this election, perhaps the biggest headline interview at this moment coming out of Maharashtra on the back of this stunning electoral performance of the Mahayuti that is led, of course, by the BJP. We're joined by, of course, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Eknath Shinde, who is now the official Shiv Sena's chief. He also holds very important portfolios in the Ministry of Urban Development, Housing, Public Works. And I want to begin by first, of course, congratulating you, Mr. Shinde. Thank you very much for speaking to CNN News 18. But how do you describe the result, the mandate that you have got, this overwhelming mandate, the BJP doing phenomenally well, your party in alliance with the BJP, pretty much sweeping this election, ending 26 years of control of the UBT Sena or the Bal Thackeray Sena or the remnants of it over the BMC. How do you describe this, sir?
पहले धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं कि उन्होंने हमारे महायुति गठबंधन को, भाजपा शिवसेना को बहुमत दिया है, मेजॉरिटी दिया है, इसलिए मैं उनको धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं। उन्होंने डेवलपमेंट को चुना है और स्वीकारा है और एंटी डेवलपमेंट करप्शन नकारा है। और जो पिछले कई 20-25 सालों से मुंबई में जिनका सरकार था उनको नकार दिया है। और 3.5 साल में जो हमने हमारी सरकार गठबंधन की महायुति के आने के बाद मैंने और देवेंद्र जी ने जो काम किया है इसको स्वीकारा है। इसीलिए आज मैं मुंबई वासियों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ, बहुत बहुत उनका धन्यवाद देता हूँ और अभी कार्यकर्ताओं को भी धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि ये महायुति गठबंधन की सरकार यहाँ पर स्थापित की और ये ट्रिपल इंजन की सरकार होगी। यहाँ पर हमारे एनडीए की सरकार केंद्र में है, महायुति की सरकार राज्य में है और मुंबई में महायुति की सरकार आ गई है तो निश्चित रूप से डेवलपमेंट के लिए बहुत फायदा होगा, क्योंकि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने मुंबई को बहुत ही प्राथमिकता दी है। मुंबई के डेवलपमेंट के लिए उन्होंने काफ़ी योगदान दिया है। मुंबई को फिनटेक कैपिटल बनाना है, मुंबई को ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल हब बनाना है, मुंबई जैसे दिखनी चाहिए वो ये हमारी आर्थिक राजधानी है, इसमें दुनिया भर से लोग आते हैं और इसलिए मुंबई को मुंबई जैसे बनाएंगे हम। और ये पूरी तरह जो स्टे देने का काम करने वालों को मुंबई वासियों ने हटा दिया है, इसलिए ये मुंबई का डेवलपमेंट हम करेंगे।
शिंदे जी, आपके खिलाफ पूरी जोर लगाई ठाकरे भाइयों ने, एकजुट हुए, दे केम टुगेदर, द ठाकरेस केम टुगेदर टू ट्राई एंड स्टॉप यू, दे थ्रू एवरीथिंग एट यू। उन्होंने जो कुछ उनके पास था उन्होंने इस्तेमाल किया आपको रोकने के लिए, मगर ऐसा लगता है कि उनकी कामयाबी कम रही, उनके प्रयास कम रहे। दे कुड नॉट डू व्हाट दे होप टू डू, विच वाज टू रिक्लेम द टाइटल ऑफ द ऑफिशियल शिवसेना फ्रॉम यू। इस पे आपका क्या कहना है?
देखिए, अभी लोगों ने तो प्रूव कर दिया है उनका इतने सालों में जो मुंबई को सोने का अंडा देने वाली मुर्गी और सिर्फ करप्शन हमारा तो उनका करप्शन फर्स्ट है हमारा मुंबई, इसलिए मुंबई का डेवलपमेंट फर्स्ट है हमारे लिए। और अभी लोग भी जानते हैं कि 25 साल में जो करना चाहिए था, रोड के कॉन्क्रीटाइजेशन नहीं किया, सीवरेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट नहीं किया, हेल्थ फैसिलिटी नहीं दी, मेट्रो को स्टे दिया, जो कार शेड को स्टे दिया ताकि लोगों को फायदा हो, ऐसा कोई काम राहत हो। ट्रैफिक है मुंबई में, स्थगिति वाली सरकार थी, अब हमारी प्रगति वाली सरकार है, तो निश्चित रूप से मुंबई वासियों को जो चाहिए हम देंगे और उनका विकास करेंगे। मुंबई को एक इंटरनेशनल सिटी के रूप में लोग देखना चाहेंगे होगा।
शिंदे जी, पवार खानदान भी जुड़ा आपके खिलाफ, वो भी एक किस्म से एकजुट हुए। शरद पवार जी और उनके जो भांजे हैं अजीत पवार, हिज नेफ्यू, दे बोथ केम टुगेदर, शरद पवार एंड ऑफ कोर्स Ajit Pawar both came together to take on the Mahayuti this time. It created a dissonance. एक किस्म से पिक्चर बदल गई। मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं कि अब आगे गाड़ी कैसे चलेगी? क्या अजीत दादा की घर वापसी होगी? आप उनको वेलकम करेंगे वापस?
अभी तो मुंबई के बारे में बोल रहा हूं। यहाँ पर अभी देखिए, लोगों ने विकास करने वालों को स्वीकारा है और एंटी डेवलपमेंट वालों को नकार दिया है। ये साबित हुआ है लोग डेवलपमेंट चाहते हैं। कोई इमोशनल मुद्दे पर, भावनिक मुद्दों पर या इमोशनल मुद्दों पर राजनीति नहीं चलेगी, डेवलपमेंट की राजनीति चलेगी।
नहीं, मगर आपने मुझे बताया नहीं कि अजीत दादा का फ्यूचर अभी क्या है। क्या आप वापस लेंगे उनको? कई लोग कह रहे थे कि ये किस्म से बिट्रेयल था महायुति का, ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था, कोलिशन धर्मा को रिस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए था, तो अब क्या होगा?
अभी तो हमारे मुंबई में हम लोग तो शिवसेना और बीजेपी साथ में थी, अब पूरे नतीजे आने के बाद ही सब बताएंगे क्या करना है। लेकिन अभी कि मुंबई वासियों के विकास हमारा गठबंधन महायुति जरूरी थी, जो हर्डल थे वो दूर हो गए हैं। अभी मुंबई
Eknath ji, आपको बहुत बधाई. Thank you very much for speaking to CNN News 18. It might have been a short conversation, but it was one that was, of course, infused with some amount of implications, because we still don't quite know what happens now to the NCP of Ajit Pawar. Remember, broke away, some would say opportunistically, tied up with the uncle Sharad Pawar's party, the NCP of Sharad Pawar, SP which is called, and tried to sort of at some level upstage the Mahayuti. They haven't succeeded, even in some of their bastions they haven't done too well, so they're pretty much on the sidelines. Does the Mahayuti even need Ajit Pawar anymore? That's the fundamental question, not being answered by Eknath Shinde, keeping that very open, saying that we will see what happens in the future. I'm going to take a very short break, viewers. We're going to come right back to more programming, many more stories, including many more interviews with the key stakeholders here.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
With the chants of Jai Jai Maharashtra, that was the BJP press conference celebrating its victory in the municipal polls. Let's quickly go across to my guest, a very esteemed one. In fact, I'm joined in by Mr. Mangal Prabhat Lodha, Maharashtra Minister. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha, for joining in. And I would like to congratulate you. It's a moment of celebration. Let's begin by sharing your thoughts first.
Yes, it's a big celebration, not only for BJP, but for all the Mumbaikars. After 25 years of the mismanagement of the Uddhav Thackeray ji party, now we will have a new governance under the guidance of Mananiya Narendra Bhai Modi ji and Mananiya Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Shinde ji. It will be a well-deserving facilities and all the infrastructure for the Mumbaikars. We thank them, all of them, by heart, and assure them that we will not defy your expectations and we will do much more than what we have promised.
Mr. Lodha, what are those factors that have worked in favor of you and, of course, Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction as well? The BJP has maintained that it was the 3 M's, which is, of course, Marathi, Mahila and the Modi factor.
You see that people saw the governance of Honorable Pradhan Mantri Narendra Bhai Modi ji in last 10 years and they have compared it with the 60 years. People saw the working of the government in the Maharashtra under leadership of Sri Devendra ji Fadnavis in last 10 years and they compared with the last 60 years. And what the result is that the 10 years are much better than the total outcome of the 60 years. They know well that what we tell we do and we don't tell anything which we cannot do. That faith they have in the Narendra Bhai Modi ji, Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Shinde ji. That is the reason they voted for us. Secondly, they are concerned about the security. Ghuspaiti is taking place, infiltration is taking place in Mumbai all around. Not only Bangladeshi Rohingya but the other way also. And they know well that if it is not stopped now, then it will become out of control and it will become another Bengal or Bangladesh. That is the reason they have come together. Thirdly, they want the new economic development and the job and the new businesses in Maharashtra and Mumbai.
So Mr. Lodha, it's interesting you speak about that, which is why there was a lot of talk about how Mumbai and the BMC election was proving to be a battleground when it came to the battle of ideologies as well. When the Marathi Asmita, which was also on the top of agenda of the Thackerays, was being challenged by BJP's Hindutva ideology. But it's not just perhaps the Hindutva ideology, it's also politics of development that has spoken today.
You see that it is not question of Marathi Asmita. It was a question of Thackeray Asmita. They were not concerned about the existence of Marathis. It is a Maharashtra. So there cannot be any question or any problem about the Asmita existence of Marathi dominance. It is there, it will be there forever. But only question is whether the Thackeray will remain in power or not. That is the reason they have taken a cover of Marathi Asmita that people have defied. People know well that behind the curtain of the Thackeray, Marathi Asmita, they are trying to take care of themselves, which people are not agreeing.
So there's also a lot of chatter about BJP social engineering, where you've touched upon 4 stratas over here. You're looking at not just catering to the Marathis, you're talking about also catering to the migrant population which have come out, say, from states like Uttar Pradesh, North India particularly, and have settled down, the Dalits, and of course the Gujarati Marwadi elite as well. I'd like a word from you on that.
We don't divide the peoples in their communities. We feel that all Mumbaikas are same till they are having the faith in the ideology of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. That is the reason every caste have voted for us, and they will continue to vote for us, and we will continue to serve all of them without any discrimination.
So when you say without any discrimination, do you think it's the politics of inclusivity which has worked for BJP and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction versus the opposition particularly? Many are even talking about how the Congress should be regretting why they didn't join hands with the Thackerays.
You see that Honorable Narendra Bhai Modi have already said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Vikas. But in that, everybody has to participate other way also. It cannot be one way. Till you are with the country, till you govern you abide by the Indian rules, for us all are same. But if you are here and wants to facilitate the incoming of the Guspetias, then you are not welcome here.
All right, Mr. Lodha, thank you so much. The battle actually has begun now, given that you've ended the Matoshri's dominance in the civic body, but the deliverables await for the BJP and for Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha. Heartiest congratulations once again. On that note, let me quickly bring in Aman, who's also joining us live. He's been tracking minute-by-minute updates for us on the BMC election, and I'm also joined in by Professor Sanjay Kumar, who's a psephologist. Aman, first to come to you, what are the key takeaways now as far as the victory is concerned?
Well, Akanksha, I think it's a phenomenal victory. If you look at the numbers, well, 128 is the total number for the NDA, but look at the BJP's number at 98. This is their best ever performance in the BMC. In fact, I would not be surprised if when the final tally comes, BJP could be over 100 seats in the 227 wards of BMC. That's a big performance. I think a replay of the Vidhan Sabha elections as well, where the BJP itself was near the majority mark without the help much of Eknath Shinde or Ajit Pawar. So this is a big stamp by the BJP on the fact that it is the strongest party in Maharashtra, in Bombay as well, and shaking up the bastion of the BMC, which was of Uddhav Thackeray for almost 2.5 decades. I think that is the biggest takeaway. The second biggest takeaway, I think the collapse of the Thackerays. You know, after being in power for almost 2.5 decades in the BMC, last-ditch effort, desperate measures were taken. After 20 years, the two brothers tied up, Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray, but this has not brought...
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
With the chants of Jai Jai Maharashtra, that was the BJP press conference celebrating its victory in the municipal polls. Let's quickly go across to my guest, a very esteemed one. In fact, I'm joined in by Mr. Mangal Prabhat Lodha, Maharashtra Minister. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha, for joining in. And I would like to congratulate you. It's a moment of celebration. Let's begin by sharing your thoughts first.
Yes, it's a big celebration.
Very good afternoon. You're watching CNN News 18. I'm Akanksha Swaroop. Let's begin with the headlines we're tracking this hour. The Bharatiya Janata Party has breached the Thackeray bastion as their 30-year-old rule in the Mumbai civic body comes to an end. Mahayuti comfortably crosses halfway mark. Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde speaks exclusively to CNN News 18 following the historic mandate for Mahayuti in the civic poll, says politics of exclusion and negativity has been defeated. A reunion fails to help Thackeray brothers as the lag far behind the Mahayuti. Nativist Raj Thackeray loses over 90% of seats contested. The Pawar family reunion fails to make any impact in the family bastion of Pune as United NCP languishes far behind the BJP, which is headed for a majority on its own in Maharashtra's cultural capital. Rahul Gandhi leads Congress chorus of vote chori as the party shifts blame to poll panel for its drubbing in the civic polls. BJP hits back, calls Rahul leader of propaganda with zero credibility. After violence and vandalism over the SIR, now Bengal's border district of Murshidabad burns over migrant workers' death in Jharkhand. BJP blames TMC for jungle rats. The Badminton Association of India General Secretary has denied sightings of monkeys inside the stadium despite video evidence, says even if reports are to be believed, no harm was done. The 30,000 crore inheritance battle gets personal after Priya Sachdev moves top court demanding details of Karishma's divorce from Sanjay Kapoor. Actresses Council now opposes the plea, terms it frivolous and a bid to dig out personal information. Doctors' body rights to Union Health Minister JP Nadda expressing grave concerns over the sub-zero cut-off in NEET, says it must be withdrawn else it will erode public trust in medical institutions. US moves carrier strike group USS Abraham Lincoln to Middle East amid Iran tensions. There's no end to the chaos at the India Open Badminton Championship after complaints over severe pollution, subpar training facilities and even monkeys inside the stadium. The latest disruption came from bird droppings. Play was halted on Thursday, this during the men's singles pre-quarter final between India's HS Pranoy and Singapore's Loh Kian Yew at Delhi's Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium after bird droppings fell from the ceiling. The opposition has slammed the mess, calling it a global embarrassment and questioned claims of world-class sports infrastructure. Sena UBT MP Priyanka Chaturvedi has questioned India's Olympic ambitions when international players are being forced to compete amid chaos, pollution, even mismanagement. Meanwhile, the Badminton Association of India has denied sightings of monkeys inside the stadium despite video evidence. The BAI secretary has said that even if the reports are to be believed, no harm was done by the animal listening.
सर बहुत सारे सवाल उठ रहे हैं अरेंजमेंट्स को लेके, फॉरेन प्लेयर्स ने भी उठाए हैं, आप लोग कैसे देखते हैं इसको?
नहीं, अरेंजमेंट्स से रिलेटेड कोई भी क्वेश्चन नहीं है. अरेंजमेंट्स इन द सेंस एकोमोडेशन, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, फूड, FOP, इससे रिलेटेड कोई भी क्वेश्चन नहीं है. मुझे ये बंदर वाला मुझे पता चला तो एक्चुअली हम पिछले 20-25 दिन से BI की हमारी पूरी टीम, हमारा पूरा वर्कफोर्स 24 आवर्स यहाँ काम कर रहा है. हमने नहीं देखा. इवन मेरी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर से बात हुई, उनने भी बोले हमने देखा ही नहीं. कैसे हुआ वो मुझे नहीं मालूम, लेकिन वो आया, इमीडिएट चला भी गया और उसके बाद जैसे हमको ये मालूम चला कि ऐसा भी हो सकता है तो उसके लिए हमने इमीडिएट एक्स्ट्रा गार्ड्स हमने लगा दिए. सारे डोर्स के ऊपर हमने एक्स्ट्रा 2-2 गार्ड लगा दिए कि ठीक है अब यहाँ से. तो एक ये अगर सडनली वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप में होता तो एक बड़ा इशू होता है. तो टेस्ट इवेंट का मतलब ही ये है कि अगर कुछ खामियां होती हैं या कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें सडनली आती हैं तो हमारे माइंड में एक रहे. अदरवाइज मंकी का हमने सपने में भी नहीं सोचा था कि ऐसा हो सकता है, बट कहीं से आया.
All right, let's quickly go across to Nivedita Singh, who's been tracking that story for us. Nivedita, the BAI, of course, is standing firm. It's digging in its heels when it comes to its own defense. But more importantly, take us through the allegations hurled by the BWF and even the Danish player.
So I'll start with the Danish player. So Mia has said that the entire even she raised the similar issue last year also when she was here for the matches. So she said that the hygiene condition is not very up to the mark and there were bird dropping in the ground, in the basically the court, badminton court, and she had raised this issue and she said that so BIS has maintained. Badminton Association had said that she may be little sensitive and it must be the issue faced by only her because there are close to 300 players from across the world and they are not raising any such issue and they have not commented about her particularly, but they have said that they are keeping control of the situation and even if a player is raising any issue,
to them, they are solving it immediately. So last time when we visited the ground on Wednesday, they said that there were complaints by players that the temperature is disturbing them, so they installed heater everywhere. And so yeah, people come from different parts of the world and they have different preferences. So yeah, the Badminton Association is trying that they should acknowledge all the issues that are faced by the players. And they are going, so the basically, yes.
No, so at a time, India is harboring international ambitions, that too at a global level, whether it's Commonwealth or Olympics. What is it going to mean for India when the BAI has come up with denials as far as a monkey spotting is concerned, which is very much on video?
So basically they have not denied this, they have said that this was not something that they have experienced in the past. So they were not expecting any such interference from the animal. And as far as the arrival of monkey or birds are there, the indoor stadium is surrounded by a lot of trees, and the entire stadium is in more than 100 acres of land. So yeah, there are a lot of trees and monkeys are there almost everywhere in Delhi. So they said they have not seen monkeys entering in the indoor stadium particularly ever in the past, and even the administration has said that this had not happened before. And this is also the first time that the badminton match has been shifted to the Indira Gandhi Stadium. So far it was held in the KD Jadhav Stadium. So this similar match was held when was held last 3 years. It was held in the KD Jadhav Stadium. And keeping in mind the scale of the World Championship that will be held in August 2026, the venue has been shifted. Both are in the same premises basically, but the indoor stadium this time is different. And what the Badminton Association is saying is that keeping in mind the World Championship and the scale of the World Championship, they have decided to move to a bigger indoor stadium compared to the KD Jadhav, which was comparatively smaller.
Many thanks to you, Nivedita, for bringing in all those inputs. We do hope that there is adequate action being taken, because remember, this India Championship is the first litmus test for India to go global. On that note, shifting focus now over to Bengal. Violence has broken out in Murshidabad and North Dinajpur districts of West Bengal. This during the special intensive revision of electoral rolls. Protesters vandalized government offices and blocked highways in Farakka and Murshidabad. A mob targeted the BDO office. They disrupted the SIR hearings as well. The unrest later spread to Chakulia in North Dinajpur, where protesters blocked a state highway and vandalized the BDO's office. That's caused an estimated damage of just 20 lakh rupees alone. Several police personnel were injured and an FIR has also been registered. The Election Commission has directed authorities now to identify and arrest those responsible. After Farakka and Murshidabad, the unrest linked to the SIR has of course spread to other parts of Bengal, with violence reported in Chakulia as well. But mob violence has also been reported in Beldanga following the death of a labourer in Jharkhand. What's important to highlight right now is the kind of political attacks that are now coming in from the opposition, primarily the BJP, which says that there is in fact a pattern to this kind of violence plaguing Bengal. Now, TMC MLA Manirul Islam is also accused of instigating the mob by saying that the Election Commission officials were not asking for documents of Hindus, but only those of Muslims. This, however, remains defiant over his statement. Listen.
आपका ये जो कमेंट है, ये इटसेल्फ थोड़ा कम्युनल है राम
कम्युनियल किया है, तो कम्युनियल तो किया है और कम्युनियल काम करता है। वो आपका जो खसरा वोटर जो निकला है, उसमें निकलने का बाद प्राय 79,000 आदमी को हियरिंग बुला रहा है। उसमें से 75,000 आदमी, 75,000 आदमी मोहम्मदन है। जिस बूथ में आपको 1100 वोट है, 1100-1200 वोट है, 1000 वोट है, 50% से ज्यादा आदमी को बुला रहा है, तो खसरा वोटर कैसे निकालेंगे?
पर उसके बाद में लोग भड़क उठे और मतलब तोड़फोड़ हुआ।
नहीं, हम तो आदमी को समझा रहे थे। हम भी जानते हैं कि ये प्रॉपर्टी सरकारी प्रॉपर्टी आम आदमी का प्रॉपर्टी है। हम संभाल रहे थे। एक दो आदमी ऐसी कुर्सी फुर्सी मन के चलिए कि ऐसा किया है, बाकी तो सब आज स्मूथली काम हो रहा है।
মানুষকে যেভাবে হ্যারাস করা হচ্ছে এটা ক্ষোভের বহিঃপ্রকাশ। এরা ঘুষপেটিয়ার কথা বলে, আমাদের বাংলাদেশি বলে। এই যে 58 লক্ষ নাম বাদ গেছে, তাদের মধ্যে কজন বাংলাদেশি? আপনারা জিজ্ঞেস করুন বিজেপি নেতাদের। মানুষের ক্ষোভের বহিঃপ্রকাশ। কিন্তু আমি আপনাদের মাধ্যমে অ্যাপিল করতে পারি যে মানুষ যাতে শান্ত থাকে, সংযত থাকে। সবার উপর যে চাপ তৈরি করেছে ইলেকশন কমিশন, 2 বছরের কাজ 2 মাসে করতে হবে, এর জন্য একমাত্র দায়ী ভারতীয় জনতা পার্টি এবং ইলেকশন কমিশন। এরা ভাবছে নোটিশ পাঠিয়ে মানুষকে শিক্ষা দেবো, মানুষ ভোট দেয়নি বলে। যত নোটিশ এরা পাঠাবে बीजेपी ভোট তত কমবে।
देखिए, हम लोग कोई लॉ ब्रेक करने का कोई सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन देखना होगा वहां पे इलेक्शन कमीशन क्या कर रहे हैं। जेन्युइन वोटर्स को हैरास कर रहा है, बुजुर्गों को हैरास कर रहा है, जो फिजिकली वीक है, इल है और एम्बुलेंस में जाना पड़ रहा है, और हैरास कर रहा है बार बार। एक ही आदमी, एक ही परिवार को हैरास कर रहा है। डॉक्यूमेंट्स देने के पर भी वो रिसीव नहीं कर रहा है, तो पब्लिक को वो प्रोवोक कर रहा है। तो एक गरीब आदमी कितना बार एक ऑफिस में जाएंगे काम छोड़ के? तो शायद वहां पर वैसे कोई प्रॉब्लम हुआ, हम लोग डिटेल सब कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं।
All right, staying with the story, getting in breaking inputs, we are learning that 19 people have been arrested. This in Chakulia violence case. Remember this after the BDO office there was torched by a mob after it was vandalized and even ransacked. So in the latest action that's been taken by the government so far, we are told that 19 people have been arrested. Those visuals are just a reminder of how the BDO office was targeted, in fact vandalized, and this is the kind of violence that is at the moment plaguing Bengal. There's utter lawlessness, something that the top court already has weighed in on, the kind of anarchy that's ensuing in Bengal. On that note, let's quickly go across to Kamalika, who is bringing us those breaking inputs. Yes, Kamalika.
Yes, what we are coming to know that as far as Chakulia incident is concerned, which happened yesterday in North Dinajpur, there 19 people have been arrested and more 3 people have been detained. So in total, the number may be near about 21. Also in the Farakka case, which happened a day before, 2 days back, there 4 people have been arrested, where more people were seen in that video. Not only that, the main thing is that there the MLA was present there, who was seeing inciting the crowd, and with we spoke, and he said rather that he was trying to convince people, which seems to have no base there. That is there. Another incident which happened today, which is very shocking. Obviously, it is very shocking that one migrant labor, who hails from Beldanga, Murshidabad, which is a very sensitive place. He went to work in Jharkhand and he was beaten to death there, and then his dead body was on a tree, and then his dead body was brought into Beldanga, and the local people started protest there. Now the point is 3 to 4 hours there also the National Highway 34 was blocked, the train could not go, but there a journalist also went to cover, a journalist from another house, a television journalist, a local journalist, Shoma Maiti. She went there. She was brutally, severely attacked by the locals out there. She is right now in hospital. She is from Zee 24 Ghanta. So if we see last 3 days, it's all about violence. Now Trinamool Congress is saying that everybody should have come.
So that's why I want to bring in the kind of political rhetoric that's coming in, not just from the TMC. In fact, shockingly enough, you also shared how you spotted a TMC MLA at one of the protests, but you also have the BJP's Shukantu Majumdar, in fact, shedding light on this wider pattern that he's talking about, and how the TMC is trying to communalize a pan-India exercise like the SIR.
That's what the BJP claim is, because if we see last 48 hours what has happened, Farakka is a sensitive place, it's in Murshidabad and it's also the bordering area. Beldanga, the reason was totally different, but Beldanga we know is a highly communally sensitive area. And third, the most important thing is definitely Chakulia, that is also close to the border. So the BJP feels that there is a pattern, but there is no doubt the last phase of SIR, there has been definitely some violence. The Trinamool is of the opinion that this violence is taking place because of the harassment. Anyway, nobody should justify any violence anywhere, but they are saying that people should be calm, but they are harassed.
protest. There is a way of showing their discontent. That's what the question is, what the BJP is raising. On the other hand, the Trinamool Congress is saying that, but the BJP is saying that this is absolutely pattern. On the other hand, the Chief Minister, when she was asked about what has happened in Beldanga, she said that there is BJP behind it. She said that the journalists should not go into the mob. She said that obviously there should be feelings for the minorities without any reason whose names are being cut according to the Trinamool Congress. But is it the way to show the protest? Obviously, it is very bad that a migrant worker who hails from Beldanga, he has been beaten to death. That's obviously a very big thing, and that should be condemned. And we know that the National General Secretary of Trinamool Congress has spoken to the Jharkhand Chief Minister. But taking the law at the road and beating up people is not right.
Absolutely not. Stay with me. Getting in the BJP reaction right now for our viewers, because the BJP is now accused the TMC of allowing violence and chaos to ensue in West Bengal. From Farakka to Chukulia, roads and trains have been blocked. Stone pelting continues. Thousands of people, including women and children, are stranded. The party says lawlessness shows the state is under TMC-backed hooliganism with no police action to restore order. Listen in to what BJP's Shrikant Majumdar has to say.
See, a similar kind of pattern was also observed during the when CA was passed in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and also during the Waqf. So it's a pattern. So it is nothing to relate with SIR or CA or the Waqf. The main thing is the communal Muslim force. Some portion of the Muslim community has become, actually they have been radicalized by the preachers. Those are from Bangladesh, and some people from this part of the state also. They are ready to disrupt the normal life.
All right, let's quickly go back to Kamalika, who continues to stay with us. So, Kamalika, the allegation coming in from the BJP over here from Shrikant Majumdar himself is that it's not just about SIR or CAA or Waqf. The pattern indicates that there is a communalization which is currently taking place under the TMC government.
Yeah, that's what is concerning, because we know what has happened in Murshidabad in 2025 April month, what type of riots we have seen there. There should the administration should be more, they should be more alert on that. On the other hand, there should be political will also. From the morning, what happened today in Beldanga was uncalled for. It is really bad that a migrant worker died and he was beaten up. There might be agitation, but agitation not at a stage, not at a way that 4 hours everything will be closed. Not only that, when a journalist, a female journalist goes to cover that, that's what our job is, then that person will be civil. Her modesty, she was almost, we were talking to her, she was almost lynched. They tried to lynch her. She was made to run 1.5 kilometers. What is this? And the fact that you vandalize a BDO office, that's a government office you have vandalized. And the fact is, what the BJP is pointing out is those people, the BDO, SDO, those are all under West Bengal cadre. So you are vandalizing your government if it is TMC workers.
Okay.
And who are the people involved in it? The TMC is saying BJP is involved in it. Then identify them, arrest them. That you should do. That is the thing which is, last 48 hours, suddenly there has been a violence. Bengal is witnessing a violence due to SIR and today due to this migrant worker.
The question is it just limited to Bengal, given that it's the central agencies that are being intimidated at the same time, the High Court? Several questions currently being raised and will only give more ammunition to say the opposition like the BJP. Many thanks to you, Kamalika, for putting that into perspective for us. And with that, we're slipping into a quick break. Stay tuned to CNN News 18 as we return with the latest.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
With the chants of Jai Jai Maharashtra, that was the BJP press conference celebrating its victory in the municipal polls. Let's quickly go across to my guest, a very esteemed one. In fact, I'm joined in by Mr. Mangal Prabhat Lodha, Maharashtra Minister. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha, for joining in. And I would like to congratulate you. It's a moment of celebration. Let's begin by sharing your thoughts first.
Yes,
it's a big celebration, not only for BJP, but for all the Mumbaikars. After 25 years of the mismanagement of the Uddhav Thackeray party, now we will have a new governance under the guidance of Mananiya Narendra Bhai Modi ji and Mananiya Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Shinde ji. It will be a well-deserving facilities and all the infrastructure for the Mumbaikars. We thank them, all of them, by heart and assure them that we will not defy your expectations and we will do much more than what we have promised.
Mr. Lodha, what are those factors that have worked in favor of you and of course Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction as well? The BJP has maintained that it was the 3 M's, which is of course Marathi, Mahila and the Modi factor.
You see that people saw the governance of Honorable Pradhan Mantri Narendra Bhai Modi ji in last 10 years and they have compared it with the 60 years. People saw the working of the government in the Maharashtra under leadership of Sri Devendra ji Fadnavis in last 10 years and they compared with the last 60 years. And what the result is that the 10 years are much better than the total outcome of the 60 years. They know well that what we tell we do and we don't tell anything which we cannot do. That faith they have in the Narendra Bhai Modi ji, Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Shinde ji. That is the reason they voted for us. Secondly, they are concerned about the security. Ghuspaiti is taking place, infiltration is taking place in Mumbai all around. Not only Bangladeshi Rohingya but the other way also. And they know well that if it is not stopped now, then it will become out of control and it will become another Bengal or Bangladesh. That is the reason they have come together. Thirdly, they want the new economic development and the job and the new businesses in Maharashtra and Mumbai.
So Mr. Lodha, it's interesting you speak about that, which is why there was a lot of talk about how Mumbai and the BMC election was proving to be a battleground when it came to the battle of ideologies as well. When the Marathi Asmita, which was also on the top of agenda of the Thackerays, was being challenged by BJP's Hindutva ideology. But it's not just perhaps the Hindutva ideology, it's also politics of development that has spoken today.
You see that it is not question of Marathi Asmita. It was a question of Thackeray Asmita. They were not concerned about the existence of Marathis. It is a Maharashtra. So there cannot be any question or any problem about the Asmita existence of Marathi dominance. It is there, it will be there forever. But only question is whether the Thackeray will remain in power or not. That is the reason they have taken a cover of Marathi Asmita that people have defied. People know well that behind the curtain of the Thackeray, Marathi Asmita, they are trying to take care of themselves, which people are not agreeing.
So there's also a lot of chatter about BJP social engineering, where you've touched upon 4 stratas over here. You're looking at not just catering to the Marathis, you're talking about also catering to the migrant population which have come out, say, from states like Uttar Pradesh, North India particularly, and have settled down, the Dalits, and of course the Gujarati Marwadi elite as well. I'd like a word from you on that.
We don't divide the peoples in their communities. We feel that all Mumbaikars are same till they are having the faith in the ideology of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. That is the reason every caste have voted for us and they will continue to vote for us and we will continue to serve all of them without any discrimination.
So when you say without any discrimination, do you think it's the politics of inclusivity which has worked for BJP and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction versus the opposition particularly? Many are even talking about how the Congress should be regretting why they didn't join hands with the Thackerays.
You see that Honorable Narendra Bhai Modi have already said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Vikas. But in that, everybody has to participate other way also. It cannot be one way. Till you are with the country, till you govern you abide by the Indian rules, for us all are same. But if you are here and wants to facilitate the incoming of the Ghuspaitias, then you are not welcome here.
All right, Mr. Lodha, thank you so much. The battle actually has begun now, given that you've ended the Matoshri's dominance in the civic body, but the deliverables await for the BJP and for Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha. Heartiest congratulations once again. On that note, let me quickly bring... All right, let's now shift focus over to the rising tensions in the Middle East, particularly Iran. The Pentagon has redirected the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group from the South China Sea towards the Gulf region, a move that's signaling Washington's readiness for possible kinetic action against Iran. US defense officials have said that the redeployment comes as unrest inside Iran is intensifying and as Tehran's proxies are already stepping up missile and militia threats across the region. The strike group, currently transiting westward, is expected to arrive within a week, bolstering American deterrence alongside allies like Israel. With the carrier's arrival, the US is sending a clear message that it is prepared to respond swiftly if the situation escalates. Let's quickly break this down for you, what this is going to mean as far as the movement of USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft and some of its escort warships are concerned. In fact, it's a striker group. It's heading towards the Middle East from the South China Sea. To in fact break it down for you, remember it was deployed in November of last year. There was no official confirmation from the Pentagon in terms of its movement, but what we can tell you is that it has departed from South China Sea. In fact, our sources are telling us that currently it is somewhere in the Arabian Sea, in the Indian Ocean, and that's how it is moving towards the Middle East. You can expect it to roughly arrive within 5 days from now. It had departed San Diego in late November 2025 with almost no fanfare. And in fact, reports are indicating that Pentagon was maintaining a deliberate strategic silence about its location. The Department of Defense did announce where it would be deployed. It will take about 5 days for the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group to transit from the Indo-Pacific all the way to the Middle East. Now, why is this going to be concerning? Let's also explain you why. Because the USS Abraham Lincoln is a Nimitz-class nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. It was commissioned in 1989 with more than 35 years of active service. This floating fortress weighs 100,000 tons. It's powered by 2 nuclear reactors, giving it virtually unlimited range and the ability to operate anywhere in the world without refueling. Its air wing delivers overwhelming force from the sky that includes FA-18 Super Hornets, the EA-18G Growlers for electronic warfare, E-2D Hawkeyes for airborne command and control, and MH-60 Seahawks for anti-submarine and rescue missions. Protecting the carrier are Arleigh-Burke-class destroyers guarding against air and submarine threats. These warships are armed with dozens of Tomahawk cruise missiles capable of striking target groups up to 1,000 miles away. Why does this matter at all? The USS Abraham Lincoln is battle-tested. It's capable of rapid, decisive strikes, even ideally suited for deployment in West Asia. Its presence sends a clear message that the United States is prepared, positioned, and watching closely. As the US President said, they are locked and loaded. Where would the USS Lincoln now dock? What are the US assets in the Middle East if they were to consider a decisive strike on Iran? Remember, the US maintains a significant military presence across the Middle East. It's in fact got its own bases. If you were to look at the Middle Eastern nations, let's break it down for you. They have a strength of roughly 600 troops in Oman, down in the Middle East. You're also looking at, in fact, Qatar. The strength is close to 13,000 troops over there. Al-Udeid air base is very much over there. In fact, what we are also being told is that they've already started vacating their troops from Qatar. As far as the naval support activity is concerned, you have Bahrain supporting the US troops over there. Roughly the strength is 7,000. Let's look at Saudi Arabia. It's not in fact on very good terms at the moment, but it is also holding the US president back from striking Iran. They have in fact close to a strength of 3,000 troops. Kuwait 13,000, Syria As we all know, after the fall of Bashar al-Assad, US was quick in sending its troops, 2,000 as far as the strength is concerned. Turkey, the strength is close to 2,500. So all of these nations, what we are being told, are also playing a very critical role in sort of telling the US president that he needs to come up with a decisive plan, because even though the USS Striker Group, USS Abraham Lincoln, is on its way, it's not going to suffice in breaking down the Iranian regime. Where would the USS Lincoln dock? What are the US assets in the Middle East if they were to consider this strike on Iran? Let's also break down for you all of those details in a CNN report by Anderson Cooper. Let's listen in.
Source tells CNN that the Pentagon is now moving a carrier strike group, most likely led by the USS Abraham Lincoln, to the Middle East. It is due to the anti-government uprising, obviously, in Iran and the regime's brutal crackdown on protesters. At least 2,400 people reportedly been killed by security forces, though the actual number, frankly, is not known and may be much higher. President Trump has warned the U.S. will help protesters if the killings continue, and the White House says all options are on the table. But tonight, sources say that Israel and several Gulf states have asked the White House to hold off on striking Iran. We're joined by Democratic Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander of New Hampshire. She's a member of the Armed Services Committee and was a Navy intelligence officer. Congresswoman, thanks for being here. The deployment of this carrier group to the Middle East would suggest at least being in a forward posture that would allow military action. President Trump has really ratcheted down his rhetoric in the past 24 hours, especially after he was allegedly told by Iran that they would halt the executions of prisoners. Where do you think this is headed?
Anderson, I think part of the challenge of this moment is it's anyone's guess. The president has been dizzying in the cavalier way that he's talked about the use of force and the way that he's deployed military force. Look, there is a strong bipartisan coalition in Congress who shares his basic view that the Iranian regime is a brutal and determined enemy of the United States, and the president should work with Congress on a bipartisan basis to make sound decisions that are rooted in facts and that are in the best interest of the American people. Unfortunately, that has not happened.
Now, the other big question that is in fact being confronted by the United States is that if it were to strike Iran, as far as the USS Carrier Strike Group is concerned, what is going to be the primary target? Let's break that down for you. You're looking at the IRGC command centers. That is going to be the primary sort of concern for the US, because remember, they still hold a strength of 150,000 personnel as we speak. At the forefront of the IRGC is the Basij militia infrastructure, which is in fact the core strength of the IRGC, and it is also the militia that is actually cracking down on the protesters in Iran. The Iranian police facilities could also be very much targeted by the striker group. At the same time, regime-linked economic assets. Why is that going to be a target? It's in fact called the scorched earth military tactic, where the armies of foreign nations in fact go on to attack the resources. That could be the mineral deposits, the oil and gas reserves in Iran, even their crops and water resources. All of that combined could be in fact targeted by the striker group. But more importantly, is that going to suffice for a regime change that the United States and Israel both are hoping for, even in fact hinting at? Much of it awaits. But for now, we're slipping into a quick break. Stay tuned to CNN News 18 as we return with the latest.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
With the chants of Jai Jai Maharashtra, that was the BJP press conference celebrating its victory in the municipal polls. Let's quickly go across to my guest, a very esteemed one. In fact, I'm joined in by Mr. Mangal Prabhat Lodha, Maharashtra Minister. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha, for joining in. And I would like to congratulate you. It's a moment of celebration. Let's begin by sharing your thoughts first.
Yes, it's a big celebration, not only for BJP, but for all the Mumbaikars. After 25 years of the mismanagement of the Uddhav Thackeray party, now we will have a new governance under the guidance of Mananiya Narendra Bhai Modi ji and Mananiya Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Shinde ji. It will be a well-deserving facilities and all the infrastructure for the Mumbaikars. We thank them, all of them, by heart and assure them that we will not defy your expectations and we will do much more than what we have promised.
Mr. Lodha, what are those factors that have worked in favor of you and of course Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction as well? The BJP has maintained that it was the 3 M's, which is of course Marathi, Mahila and the Modi factor.
You see that people saw the governance of Honorable Pradhan Mantri Narendra Bhai Modi ji in last 10 years and they have compared it with the 60 years. People saw the working of the government in the Maharashtra under leadership of Sri Devendra ji Fadnavis in last 10 years and they compared with the last 60 years. And what the result is that the 10 years are much better than the total outcome of the 60 years. They know well that what we tell we do and we don't tell anything which we cannot do. That faith they have in the Narendra Bhai Modi ji, Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Shinde ji. That is the reason they voted for us. Secondly, they are concerned about the security. Ghuspaiti is taking place, infiltration is taking place in Mumbai, all around. Not only Bangladeshi Rohingya, but the other way also. And they know well that if it is not stopped now, then it will become out of control and it will become another Bengal or Bangladesh. That is the reason they have come together. Thirdly, they want the new economic development and the job and the new businesses in Maharashtra and Mumbai.
So Mr. Lodha, it's interesting you speak about that, which is why there was a lot of talk about how Mumbai and the BMC election was proving to be a battleground when it came to the battle of ideologies as well. When the Marathi Asmita, which was also on the top of agenda of the Thackerays, was being challenged by BJP's Hindutva ideology. But it's not just perhaps the Hindutva ideology, it's also politics of development that has spoken today.
You see that it is not question of Marathi Asmita. It was a question of Thackeray Asmita. They were not concerned about the existence of Marathis. It is a Maharashtra. So there cannot be any question or any problem about the Asmita existence of Marathi dominance. It is there, it will be there forever. But only question is whether the Thackeray will remain in power or not. That is the reason they have taken a cover of Marathi Asmita that people have defied. People know well that behind the curtain of the Marathi Asmita, they are trying to take care of themselves, which people are not agreeing.
So there's also a lot of chatter about BJP social engineering, where you've touched upon 4 stratas over here. You're looking at not just catering to the Marathis, you're talking about also catering to the migrant population which have come out, say, from states like Uttar Pradesh, North India particularly, and have settled down, the Dalits, and of course the Gujarati Marwadi elite as well. I'd like a word from you on that.
We don't divide the peoples in their communities. We feel that all Mumbaikas are same till they are having the faith in the ideology of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. That is the reason every caste have voted for us and they will continue to vote for us and we will continue to serve all of them without any discrimination.
So when you say without any discrimination, do you think it's the politics of inclusivity which has worked for BJP and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction versus the opposition particularly? Many are even talking about how the Congress should be regretting why they didn't join hands with the Thackerays.
You see that Honorable Narendra Bhai Modi have already said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Vikas. But in that, everybody has to participate other way also. It cannot be one way. Till you are with the country, till you govern you abide by the Indian rules, for us all are same. But if you are here and wants to facilitate the incoming of the Ghuspetias, then you are not welcome here.
All right, Mr. Lodha, thank you so much. The battle actually has begun now, given that you've ended the Matoshri's dominance in the civic body, but the deliverables await for the BJP and for Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha. Heartiest congratulations once again. On that note, let me quickly bring in Aman, who's also joining us live. He's been tracking minute-by-minute updates for us on the BMC election, and I'm also joined in by Professor Sanjay Kumar, who's a psephologist. Aman, first to come to you, what are the key takeaways now as far as the victory is concerned?
Well, Akanksha, I think it's a phenomenal victory. If you look at the numbers, well, 128 is the total number for the NDA, but look at the BJP's number at 98. This is their best ever performance in the BMC. In fact, I would not be surprised if when the final tally comes, BJP could be over 100 seats in the 227 wards of BMC. That's a big performance. I think a replay of the Vidhan Sabha elections as well, where the BJP itself was near the majority mark without the help much of Eknath Shinde or Ajit Pawar. So this is a big stamp by the BJP on the fact that it is the strongest party in Maharashtra, in Bombay as well, and shaking up the bastion of the BMC, which was of Uddhav Thackeray for almost 2.5 decades. I think that is the biggest takeaway. The second biggest takeaway, I think the collapse of the Thackerays. You know, after being in power for almost 2.5 decades in the BMC, last-ditch effort, desperate measures were taken. After 20 years, the two brothers tied up, Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray, but this has not brought...
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
With the chants of Jai Jai Maharashtra, that was the BJP press conference celebrating its victory in the municipal polls. Let's quickly go across to my guest, a very esteemed one. In fact, I'm joined in by Mr. Mangal Prabhat Lodha. Welcome back. Maharashtra civic poll results have finally poured in. It is a BJP victory. The BJP-led alliance comfortably ahead with over 127 seats as the Thackeray faction has trailed at just a dismal 70. NDA sources say that the Mumbai numbers have already indicated that the combined vote share of the Bharatiya Janata Party is standing at 34% over that, in fact, and Shiv Sena 20%, 54% decisively pushed the UBT and MNS combined to the margins. The Sharad Pawar-Ajit Pawar reunion in their strongholds Pune and Pimpri Chinchwad seems to have flopped massively. This as the BJP has taken a huge lead in both the civic polls in Pimpri Chinchwad. The Bharatiya Janata Party is ahead in 70 wards, which is what has also spelled this historic victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party. While the Pawars are leading in 40 wards, the spotlight, of course, has been on BMC, the Thackeray brothers that reunited to reclaim their heritage and stood against the BJP Shiv Sena alliance, but all in vain. On that note, let's quickly go across to Yesha Kotak, who's joining us live on the broadcast. Yesha, if you could give us a sense of what's happening at the BJP headquarters, what's the mood like?
So right behind me is the BJP state headquarters. Like you see, celebrations have started ever since this afternoon, but clearly right now there is a long wait because the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, under whose guidance we saw that there was this spectacular win, of the Mahayuti across the entire state, not only BMC, but we've seen that in most of the municipal corporations. There were 29 municipal corporations that went in for polls, of which 24 is where clearly the BJP is leading, and which is where there's a celebration that's being held here. You see, there's the saffron flags all across the street. The entire party office has been adorned with garlands. There are firecrackers which await, and of course, like every time, whenever there's a win, we see there are jalebis which are usually made right outside the party office, which are then distributed to Karyakartas. In fact, in order to support the BJP, we've also seen that there are workers from RPI which have gathered right outside the BJP office. This is because, they were in alliance with RPI. This election, of course, before the election, we'd seen how there was a constant to and fro, between the leaders of Mahayuti and Ramdas Athavale, but that clearly was resolved, and There have been people who've come to support him. In fact, there were chants of Deva Bhau that could be heard a while back. There are also dhol tashas which have been called in. But as of now, of course, all eyes on BJP office as there's a long wait for the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, for the state Chief of BJP Ravindra Chauhan, and also for the BJP Mumbai Chief Amit Sato.
Yeah,
Yes.
the sense of pride, not to forget the fact that it is a historic moment for BJP, which has in fact shot to power after, say, 26 years. What's interesting is that, Eknath Shinde, in that exclusive that he's given to CNN News 18, has said that this moment is also about how this is a victory for politics of inclusivity and is a befitting response to politics of hatred.
Absolutely. In fact, when we speak of this, it has taken 25 years. Of course, when we speak of the earlier BMC as well, both the Shiv Sena and BJP were in power. But as of now, when we speak to several leaders from the Mahayuti, they've said that it was just a support. They were not leading the role. Is a state is what the BJP has claimed. Here clearly, the whole mandate was about having a triple engine sarkar. The one at the center, at state, and also at BMC. In fact, throughout the election, we've seen that there's been a constant echo that we've seen across the leaders of Mahayuti that they'd be working for the development of the city, and particularly attributing all of this to the infrastructure projects that have been undertaken, or rather inaugurated in the last couple of years. Apart from that, the whole narrative that we speak of when it comes to the interview that's been given by Eknath Shinde, he's been referring to the whole Marathi versus Hindu debate, and that is something that was clearly on the minds, that was a clear political narrative just ahead of elections. But what's important to note is that for a Mumbaikar, it is usually all about development. A Mumbaikar, that we spoke of in the run-up to the elections, they clearly said that all of this is just political narrative that they really not buy to, and which is where what's important to note is that while of course the figures for the polling were not great as compared to any other civic body, but on the other hand, for a place like BMC, where the polling is usually at a lower level, the figures came out to be decent level, and which was a clear indication that the voters had come out in support of Mahayuti, because clearly, in case of a change that they would have expected was where a high voter turnout would have been expected. But yes, a lot of key areas, a lot of places which have been stronghold of the BJP have been written. That's how they've crossed the figure of 100 all by themselves, and across the halfway mark along with Alliance. Yes.
Joining us now is MOS Civil Aviation and also the former mayor of Pune, Shri Muralidhar Mohal. Muralidhar Mohal ji, namaste. आपको बहुत-बहुत बधाई. It's a big sweep, big win for the BJP. क्या कहेंगे?
पुणे में तो हम अलायंस में नहीं, अकेले लड़ रहे थे बीजेपी, और ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है. पुणेकर जनता ने जो हमारे नेतृत्व माननीय मोदी जी हो, देवेंद्र जी, इनके विचार को, नेतृत्व को स्वीकार किया, समर्थन दिया. पिछले 5 साल हम यहाँ पे एज ए रूलिंग पार्टी करके कॉर्पोरेशन, म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन में हम काम कर रहे थे. माननीय मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र जी के नेतृत्व में राज्य सरकार और केंद्र में मोदी जी की सरकार 11 साल में पुणे के लिए बहुत सारी उपलब्धियां, यानी ट्रिपल इंजन सरकार में हम काम कर रहे थे. और जो हमने काम किया, मुझे लगता है कि उसी को समर्थन पुणेकर जनता ने आज दिया है.
19 से 22 तक आप महापौर थे, लेकिन इसको तो ट्रेडिशनली एनसीपी का गढ़ माना जाता है पुणे को, तो क्या कहेंगे इस बार?
नहीं, पिछले 5 साल हम ही रूलिंग पार्टी करके यहाँ काम कर रहे थे, लेकिन उससे पहले कम से कम 25, 30, 40 साल कांग्रेस और एनसीपी पुणे में काम कर रही थी एज ए रूलिंग पार्टी करके. लेकिन पुणेकर जनता ने उनको 2017 में ही नकारा था, रिजेक्ट किया था, और आज फिर पे एक बार उनको रिजेक्ट कर दिया है.
अब ऑल अक्रॉस महाराष्ट्र, अगर आप मुंबई को भी देखें, ठाणे देखें, कई और जो महानगर पालिकाएं हैं, वहां पर आप बीजेपी महायुति की परफॉर्मेंस को देखकर क्या कहेंगे?
बिल्कुल, मुझे लगता है कि जैसे कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री हमेशा कहते हैं कि हम विकास पे ही चुनाव लड़ते हैं, माननीय मोदी जी भी कहते हैं कि हमारे चुनाव का मुद्दा एक ही होता है, वो होता है विकास। और हमने पूरे महाराष्ट्र में इसी मुद्दे पे चुनाव लड़ा है। तो मुंबई, पुणे, नागपुर, पिंपरी चिंचवड, नासिक, सभी जगह पे आज आप अगर देखते हैं तो सभी जगह पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी को बड़ा समर्थन मिल रहा है लोगों से, जनता से। तो मुझे लगता है कि विकास के मुद्दे पे हमने चुनाव जो लड़ा है, लोगों को अपील हुआ है। और विकास और उस जो शहर है, जो बड़ा शहर हो, छोटा शहर हो, जहाँ पे आज इलेक्शन है, तो लोगों को ये विश्वास है कि ये हमारा शहर आगे जाके विकास और प्रगति के रास्ते पे चलना है। हमें शहर के भविष्य को अगर सुनिश्चित करना है तो माननीय मोदी जी का नेतृत्व ही चाहिए, देवेंद्र जी के नेतृत्व ही चाहिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी चाहिए।
लेकिन विपक्ष इसको फिक्स्ड मैच कह रहा है मुरलीधर मोहोल जी। वो कह रहा है कि एक जगह जहां वोट चोरी हुआ वहीं वोटिंग इंक गायब हो रहा है। किस तरीके का चुनाव है ये? पूरा फिक्स्ड मैच है कह रहा है।
ये तो हमेशा का एक, कोई भी चुनाव हो, लोकल बॉडीज की इलेक्शन हो या विधानसभा की हो या लोकसभा की है, ये तो तय है कि रिजल्ट के दिन इनका होना शुरू ही होता है। तो मुझे लगता है कि इसको ज्यादा सीरियसली लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि ये होना ही था। ये पहले से इन्होंने ग्राउंड भी बना दिया था, पिछले 2-3 दिन से इन्होंने चला रहा थे वो, क्योंकि उनको पता चल रहा है कि हमारी यहाँ पे हार तो निश्चित है, तो कुछ ना कुछ तो मुद्दा चाहिए। ये तो स्वीकार नहीं करते कि जैसा जनता का आदेश है, जो जनता का जो आपको कॉल मिला है, उसको स्वीकार करने की उनमें बड़ा दिल नहीं होता इन लोगों में। तो मुझे लगता है कि वो तो होते ही रहेंगे।
मुंबई में बिछड़े हुए बंधु साथ में आए, ठाकरे बंधु। यहाँ पुणे में बिखरा हुआ परिवार साथ आया, पवार परिवार, लेकिन उनके हाथ ज्यादा कुछ लगा नहीं। क्या कह रही है जनता?
पुणे में पवार फैमिली एक हो गई, मुंबई में ठाकरे फैमिली एक हो गई, अच्छी बात है, वो फैमिली एक होती है तो। लेकिन चुनाव में इसका कुछ परिणाम नहीं होता, क्योंकि लोगों को सेंटिमेंट से कुछ लेना देना नहीं होता। लोगों को काम से मतलब होता है, लोगों को विकास से मतलब होता है, और जो सिर्फ और सिर्फ भारतीय जनता पार्टी के माध्यम से होगा, ये लोगों को पता है।
तो अगर काम से मतलब है तो मैं पूछूं कि आगे आप क्या वादे कर रहे हैं? क्या आप करके दिखाएंगे पुणे के लिए, पुणेकरों के लिए?
बिल्कुल। पिछले 5 साल भी हमने ट्रिपल इंजन सरकार के माध्यम से ही पुणे में काम किया है। मोदी जी की सरकार के माध्यम से यहाँ पे मेट्रो की शुरुआत हो गई। आज 32 किलोमीटर की मेट्रो के हमारे मेट्रो लाइन शुरू है। आगे जाके 120 किलोमीटर और हमारे मेट्रो लाइन का विस्तार होने वाला है। रिवर्स के प्रोजेक्ट केंद्र सरकार के माध्यम से चल रहे हैं। यहाँ की पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट हमें और अच्छी बनानी पड़ेगी, उसके लिए हम काम करेंगे। यहाँ का जो बाकी हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का काम है, ये बहुत सारी चीजें हैं। हमारे 24/7 वाटर सप्लाई का प्रोजेक्ट हमें कंप्लीट करना है। तो हमारे सामने एजेंडा है। पुणे का जनता को हमने जो पिछले 5-10 साल में जो किया वो तो सामने रखा ही है। 50 साल का आगे जाके हमारा जो पुणे के लिए विजन है, देश का सर्वोत्तम शहर हमें पुणे को बनाना है, तो हमारे एक विजन डॉक्यूमेंट है, वो भी हमने पुणे का जनता को संकल्प पत्र के नाम से दिया है। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये क्लैरिटी पुणे का जनता में बिल्कुल आई है कि काम होगा तो बिल्कुल भारतीय जनता पार्टी के माध्यम से होगा। तो यही मुझे लगता है कि कुछ प्रायोरिटीज हमारी जो है, जो मैंने अभी कहा, तो वही प्रायोरिटीज हमारी है।
देखिए, संकल्प से सिद्धि का जो रास्ता है वो श्रम से गुजरता है, तो श्रम, काम करने की बहुत आवश्यकता है। तो यही हम आपसे प्रार्थना और आपको साधुवाद देंगे कि आप और काम करें और जो वादे किए हैं उस पर खरे उतरें। बहुत बहुत बधाई आपको। थैंक यू फॉर स्पीकिंग विद अस। नमस्ते।
All right, so clearly with this victory, the BJP has solidified two things. It's not only just created history, it's also gone on to solidify brand Modi. Let's also take you through what the Mahayuti victory means. What are the big takeaways of this victory? For Mumbai and most major cities across Maharashtra, the vote is for a triple engine ki sarkar, from a double engine to triple engine. That in itself is going to be the big shift. The Bharatiya Janata Party has emerged as the largest party. Fadnavis has consolidated brand Modi. It's also won the trust of the people of Maharashtra, where the politics of ideology, particularly that of Marathi Asmita, has been defeated. Thackerays have been voted out from Mumbai, that too after 26 years, and trounced in Thane as well. The Pawars, interestingly, have also been marginalized. They've slipped massively behind the Bharatiya Janata Party, particularly in their own bastions, something like Pimpri Chinchwad and even Pune. The NCP Ajit Pawar may even now find itself out of the equation as far as Mahayuti is concerned. There's lack of public connect and lackluster campaigning, which is back to haunt the opposition. Primarily the Congress party, which is now being accused of not even having a single rally in the run-up to the elections. Limits of insular parochial politics is, of course, a message for regional parties, particularly Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackre's factions. Another morale-sapping defeat for the opposition. What are going to be the implications for the national politics is going to be interesting in the days ahead, particularly in 2026. It's the first mega victory for the BJP in 2026, which has already buoyed NDA and its hope for a tough state election in early summer. Now, India's richest municipal body, which is the BMC, is of course serving the nation's business capital, which may now see a revamp, which is the need of the hour for India's financial capital, that is Mumbai. And Mumbai's impending transformation to impact India's own economic credibility, that too at a time when India is currently looking to in fact sort of soften the blow that it is receiving from the US tariffs. On that note, it's over to Aman Sharma, who's joining us live from Mumbai with all the details and developments as far as the BMC elections are concerned. It's over to you, Aman.
Well, thank you, Akanksha, and hello viewers. Welcome to Mumbai, and we have been doing our rolling coverage from 9 a.m. Today early morning, and what a day it has been. What a thumping victory for the NDA, close to almost 124 to 125 seats as of now, and the opposition alliance, despite the coalition between the two brothers, Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackray, the coalition has stopped at below 70 seats. Single digit figure for MNS after a lot of anticipation, lot of speculation of how much Raj Thackray will be able to deliver. In the end, the MNS has proven to be a damp squib. It has even pulled down the Uddhav Thackeray alliance, and Uddhav Thackeray stopping himself at about 60 seats. He would be very, very disappointed with this, because the Uddhav Thackeray, the combined Shiva Sena, in fact, earlier has ruled the BMC for over 2.5 decades. This was the first time that the Shiva Sena split and Uddhav Thackeray was contesting the BMC election on his own. He got his brother along with himself after 2 decades, hoping to retain the BMC, Asia's richest municipal body with a budget of nearly rupees 70,000 crores. But all of those dreams have crashed under the machine, I would say the election winning machine of Devendra Fadnavis, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, again leading the BJP to a massive, massive win. And now in the BMC elections, the BJP itself alone is close to 100 seats. It's at 96 to 97 seats as we speak today, leading in those seats. And this is a phenomenal performance by the BJP. This is their best ever performance in the BMC elections. The last time they had secured 80 odd seats, but this time they have even outdone themselves and risen to nearly 95 to 97 seats the BJP could end up in this election. What are the big takeaways? The big takeaways seem to be that Devendra Fadnavis has emerged as the king of Maharashtra. He helped the party do decently in the Lok Sabha elections. He led the party to a big, big win in the Vidhan Sabha elections and then became the chief minister, replacing Eknath Shinde, who became the deputy chief minister. And now Brand Fadnavis has delivered the BMC to the BJP. For the first time ever, the BJP will have its own mayor in Mumbai, and that is going to be a big, big thing, because there are big things to be done, and it's now a triple engine government in Mumbai, because the centre is ruled by Mr. Narendra Modi, the state is ruled by the BJP under Devendra Fadnavis, and now the BMC will also have a BJP mayor. So no putting blame on somebody else now. The BJP will have to walk the talk and make Mumbai the Shanghai or the Dubai as it is long spoken about, solve the pothole problem of Mumbai, solve the cleanliness problem of Mumbai, solve